there. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing, like what I was saying, I didn't know if it was work or not with Vince McMahon being
Mm-hmm.
gone, because I figured
Yeah.
he would just pop up in like a week from now or a month from
Mm-hmm.
now or
Yeah.
once retirement's like
Are we
Ric Flair.
live already, or are we just randomly in
I
the
think
middle of a
so, but
conversation?
hey, it works. I mean that way people
Yeah.
after is like.
Yeah.
If anyone out there who catches afterward, we're talking about the Vince McMahon retirement thing,
Yeah.
which is a pretty big deal. And I was going on about I didn't know if it was a work or if it was like Ric Flair type of retirement.
Yeah.
If he
Who? Because
retired, but
Ric Flair's wrestling another match. I heard
yeah,
one final match.
and they're like charging an arm and a leg for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You see the one match for like this big price, or you
Two
see something
hundred
else
and
for the big
fifty
price.
dollars, and you could stream the whole pay-per-view or some shit. I don't know. I don't know if it's that expensive.
I have no idea either. But hello to everyone out there. Everyone out there, thanks for the people in here. Caleb, DJ, David,
Mm-hmm.
Kyle. Happy birthday, Kyle. 13 days till your
Yeah.
birthday.
Happy
That's
early
cool.
birthday. Oh,
We already
Halloween
had two
isn't ending.
people.
Okay.
We've had two people ask this. Okay. I
Yeah,
saw that.
Apollo. He's like thoughts on the Halloween isn't ending
Yeah.
trailer. Because yeah, I mean, is the franchise really going to end after this? Probably not. It
No.
should.
It'll never end. Let's be honest. It'll never end. Does anyone really think it'll ever end?
I don't.
At the end of the day, I ultimately gave in and saw it. And what am I supposed to get out of it? A bunch of screaming?
Yeah.
Jamie fighting Michael Myers like H2O, only
Uh-huh.
less. Did I miss anything else in the trailer? Like, isn't that
Well, I
just
mean,
what the
they
trailer
showed a
was?
lot of. It seemed like they showed a lot of quick cuts of like young and old Jamie Lee trying to like
Yeah,
make this into some
well,
kind of
like they're showing shots of the
finale.
first movie.
Yeah.
They're just showing shots of the first movie.
And it seemed like she was even like set up in a certain frame, just like the first movie, like that whole shot where she's against the wall. It almost looked
Nostalgia.
like it was lit the exact same way. It was blocked the same way, probably on purpose.
Because of nostalgia. Nostalgia
Yeah.
sells. I mean, I know you liked Halloween Kills more than me.
Yeah, but
But
mainly
there's
as a time waster for the gore, to be perfectly honest. And this, the trailer just did nothing for me. I was just like, I mean, Jamie Lee versus Michael Myers, Laurie versus Michael
at the
again.
end. I saw that done well in H2O.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know a lot of people hate H2O, and H2O has its flaws, like the multiple mask, I get you, but
Yeah.
I already saw it, and they're both, like, Michael Myers is, what, 70 years old, and how old is Laurie Strode? Jimmy Curtis? 65? 66?
Definitely up there. Definitely up there.
So, I mean, even with what could happen, let's think about Halloween ends. The possibilities. If you go through them.
So they could do something ballsy, kill off Laurie. They've already done that before. They did that in Resurrection.
They even killed her off-screen in Halloween 4. They killed her on-screen in Halloween Resurrection. So that's nothing.
I don't think they're going to do anything where Michael Myers dies for good. I don't think that's happening. I've heard a rumor like, oh, it could be something where so-and-so like the spirit of the shape just is able to transfer to other people. Like we already saw that done before as well. So I don't know what
Halloween
they could
4.
do. Yeah.
End of Halloween 4.
Yeah, what the hell are they going to do?
The rumor I heard is a good chunk of it is the love story between those two younger kids.
Ooh, that sounds fucking lame.
And trying to be like different. When your star and director said this will piss people off, like before. Now I'm thinking it'd be like Last Jedi type stuff.
Yeah,
they said that. They said that this will piss people off, and I'm like, well, I've seen it all, so maybe if Michael Myers turns to a Voltron.
Yeah, Jesse, maybe Michael Myers will terrorize a nursing home next.
I agree.
Halloween depends.
Even even Michael Myers looks old. They all look old as fuck.
Yeah, it's Halloween depends. As if adult diapers.
Halloween meets Bubba Hotep. Bubba Hotep 2, The Return of Michael Myers.
Yeah.
You think Elvis is dead? You think Michael Myers is dead? No, neither are dead. There you go. See your Ash versus Michael Myers in a different way. Bubba Hotep 2. It'll make money. And then in
absolutely.
5 years, they'll reboot it.
Yeah. 100%. Speaking of reboots, Matt, did you hear about how Blumhouse they want to buy the rights to Nightmare on Elm Street, and they want to do another film or two?
Well, yeah, because look how much money this Halloween stuff has made, and they follow the money.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it makes perfect sense, and I wouldn't be surprised if Warner Brothers does make a deal sometime in the future. Although I think it's a little bit much that Neil, what is it, Neil Blumhouse or whatever the guy's name is? He's like, oh, I can get Robert. I know Robert does, he's retired. He said he's done with the role, but I can get him. I got Ellen Burstyn to do the new Exorcist. I could get Robert Englund. Like it's a done deal. And I'm like, Ellen Burstyn hadn't done anything for years. She was probably just, oh, I get to work again? Good. Cool.
Yeah, I get to work again, exactly.
Robert Englund already got work. He was in Stranger Things season 4, so it's not like he's struggling to get any work right now.
Yeah, that wasn't much wrong about, just about people getting mad.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Thanks, Hopium. Thank you for the kindness. Have you checked out Phil Tippett's Bad God? It's a stop-motion experimental horror in the vein of Begotten. I've never even heard of it.
Well, saying that it's like Begotten is not a good sign, but I have heard of it. I saw the trailer, and I do have a digital download of it, and I'll definitely give it a watch sometime. I'm a huge fan of Phil Tippett. He's an amazing technician, wonderful artist. Of course, he did stop motion effects for a lot of different films, including RoboCop, and he directed, I think, Starship Troopers 2. I think he directed that one.
What does he mean in the vein of Begotten?
I don't know.
I know the movie Begotten, but
here's the thing about Mad God. It's not a typical film, Matt. It's all done in stop motion, which is really cool, but it doesn't have any dialogue. It's very music and narrative driven.
That's kind of like Begotten. There's no dialogue in that.
Yeah, there's no dialogue in Mad God.
I wasn't big on Begotten. It makes for a good trailer, but not for a good full-length movie. Like a short film, maybe. So I don't know how long this film is.
Mad God's like an hour and 20 or an hour and 30 some minutes or something like that, if I remember correctly.
Well, I mean, we'll see. I've heard of it. First I've heard of it. Sorry, guys. Trying on my phone here to look.
You lost that love and thunder. Whoa, that love and thunder. Great job with that song, man.
You've lost the thunder cock. Why are you so mean to us?
Speaking of Marvel, people are freaking out over the announcement for Phase 5 or whatever, and I'm like, I don't give a shit. I don't care about The Blade. I heard they're going to call it The Blade. I saw the screenshot of the new Blade as well, and I'm like, the guy looks like fucking Kid and Play or some shit. Kid and Play is Blade. At the fucking fade. High top haircut.
He looks like that Black Wester and
Yeah,
Bla-
yeah,
Blecker.
yeah, and
Blecker.
then and then they're gonna do something like there's a new Captain America movie called New World Order. I'm like, New World Order.
So Hulk Hogan gonna come out in his wheelchair.
Just be like whack whack whack.
Hey, hello there, everyone. Luis. Hello, everyone out there. Um, hello, everyone. A TED TV series. I wasn't even a fan of the movie, so I'm not interested.
Did you see
Um,
any of the trailers for the new Marvel stuff, Matt? Like, did you see like Wakanda Forever or
yeah, I mean, I wasn't a fan of the first ones. I have no interest in Wakanda Forever. It did nothing for me. I was
yeah, I
indifferent.
don't. Yeah, I was very indifferent on it as
And
well.
in case people ask, I did not see the John Wick 4 trailer because I go into these blind. I went into John Wick 2 and 3
Hmm.
absolutely blind, so that's why I prefer. So I'm not watching the trailers.
I saw John Wick the most recent trailer for John Wick 4 and it looked like it could be fun as usual, but you know they're not going to show a lot of stuff because it's so early in the game and wouldn't necessarily want
God
them
damn it.
to anyway. But I will admit this, I don't know, it didn't get me as jazzed as the other trailers did for the other three,
Okay.
but I'll still absolutely check it out. I'm still looking forward to it.
Thanks once again, Hopium. He said, should have clarified in the vein of
Hmm.
Begon, like Mike said, no dialogue, character movement.
Hmm.
Character movement. I
Yeah,
guess the
it's
stop
very
motion.
yeah,
Non-linear, it's random plot.
yeah,
I don't know about random plot. I don't know if that would work for 80. That sounds like liquid television, but those are pretty short.
yeah, yeah.
And I do wish they would release liquid television officially, but
That'll
like
never
a
happen because of rights issues.
yes,
JW NJ, yeah, Ali. I haven't seen him in True Detective, but I did see him in Alita, and I thought he was awful. And I thought his character was just trying to be Blade anyway in that movie, and he sucked. Fucking butter knife over there.
yeah. I you were asking about trailers. I did see Black Adam and
uh,
Shazam 2.
Black Adam, aka Man of Steel 2.
Yeah, and Shazam 2.
It's crazy how much Black Adam reminds me of Man of Steel. And like Man of Steel's supposedly a superhero movie and Black Adam's the villain film.
Well, Dwayne Johnson just been out of it for a long
He
time
just
for
seems
me.
bored. It looks like he's bored and I'm bored watching him. I know maybe that's the whole take on Black Adam. He's supposed to be this dour and whatever, but maybe that's not somebody who can carry a film then. Maybe it's a guy who's best as, you know, the villain in one movie or a series of films and he shares some screen time instead of being the center.
Yeah, I know Black Adam. I said Black Adam, but it might also be an atom bomb. It might be a black hole. It might also be a black Wester. It might be black. I don't give a fuck
Mhm.
about Black Wakanda or Black Panther or Blackonda. I don't care about. Do a Black Hocus Pocus. I don't care.
What do you think they're gonna do with Wakanda Forever? It definitely seems like they're killing T'Challa.
Yeah, they
He's
have the
dead.
painting on the wall. That painting on the wall, they show us his face.
So do you think it's going to be his sister? Because that's basically my
Yeah,
assumption. Because that was how it was in the comic.
it'll be the female Black Panther.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. That's what it will be. The
I mean,
Queen's
I'm not.
mad that
Yeah.
everybody. The Queen's mad that everybody she knows died, and it'll be
And speaking of
the.
the Queen, I'm sorry, Angela Bassett. That line delivery was terrible. It was so bad. At least for me, I just thought it was just so hammy. And I was like, "What are you trying to go for a Razzie?" Well, a friend of mine was like, "It reminded me of Vampire in Brooklyn." I'm like, "Yeah, it kind of did. That's not a good sign."
I mean, it just it'll be a big hit. I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
the trailer alone got over 500,000 in
Yeah,
a day,
and
so it'll be a big hit.
I guarantee it will get nothing but positive reviews, even if it turns out to be like meh. Like it'll get like unanimous, like 98, 99% in Rotten Tomatoes or some shit.
Because if you say anything, you're disrespecting Chadwick
Yeah,
Boseman for some reason.
yeah,
And,
or you're racist. That one too.
well, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
It'll be one or the other.
Because that happened when I was, with people who were just like, they thought Black Panther was okay at the time, uh, or if you, or if God forbid you thought it sucked. Like there were a lot of things that were thrown out, by certain people.
Yeah, like I said it sucked, and people called me racist.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Um. About
Exactly.
what about Shazam? Yeah. What about Shazam 2?
Maybe I'm just so burned out on superhero comic book
Yeah,
stuff. I was indifferent, and
I
I
was
didn't
very
mind the first
indifferent on it as
Shazam.
well.
I didn't mind the first Shazam for what it was. To me, though, I'm watching as I'm going, I feel like I've seen this multiple
Yeah.
times. I don't know if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
It feels so familiar.
I'm feeling the fatigue, Matt, as well. I really am. Just from these trailers, I'm just like, this seems so familiar. I've been there, done that. Also, with Shazam, I wasn't really a big fan of when they started to throw in all the family stuff and made them heroes, because then it made things convoluted and overly complicated in terms of the story. And I was hoping that they wouldn't focus on that so much in the sequel, but that doesn't look like that's the case. It looks like they're going to focus on that even more, and then have a little bit of stuff with Zachary Levi and his Shazam character growing, or having scenes on his own. I just think Shazam as a franchise is stronger with just Zachary Levi just being Shazam, and
And also, I was going to
doing
ask if
that.
anyone knows the Shazam comic. Is the source material the Goofy or this?
Depends on
Hmm,
the era, and
hmm.
it depends on
I
the
was just
writer.
curious. Okay,
Yeah.
I was just curious. Uh, Batman Beyond TV show is good. Um, I should have picked it up. It was like
Oh
$30
yeah.
at Walmart recently. I should have
Yeah,
picked it
the
up.
Blu-ray. There's a Blu-ray that's non-limited in terms of edition that's out. It's pretty affordable. I love Batman Beyond. I grew up watching Batman Beyond on WB. Huge, enormous fan of that show. Uh, Return of the Joker is really good too.
Oh yeah,
Definitely
I
one of the
really enjoyed
better
that.
animated films.
I like Return of the Joker. That was a good one. That was
I've got
quite good.
the need for superhero fatigue. Uh, And what's ironic is like the biggest film of the year so far is Top Gun 2, the most successful. It beat Titanic. I think I read something. It beat Titanic in terms
And
of
what?
gross. I think it beat Titanic in terms of a box office gross somewhere. I think I remember reading something about that. The Top Gun 2
Hmm.
beat out Titanic.
It's so good. It's a better movie. Yeah, I don't do. Yeah, I don't care about superhero movies.
I
Yeah,
mean,
they're
I'll
just
check them
burned
out, but
out.
I'm not paying to see them in the theater. Like the only one I might, it depends on what's going on. Deadpool 3 or Guardians of the Galaxy 3. But other than that, like I'm not seeing any of them in the theater.
Are you surprised someone mentioned this that there's no Deadpool 3 of anything in Comic Con?
No, because it hasn't even started shooting yet. And from what I've heard, is they're still working on the script. And there's just a lot of talk about how it is most definitely going to be rated R. Okay, all right, that's fine. That still doesn't mean it's going to be good just because Disney is going to still make it rated R. The fact that the original writers were brought back, that is a good sign. That is a sign that things are kind of a little bit more back to normal, and they're not trying to rely upon such newbies like they were initially doing with some of the writers from Bob's Burgers. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I want it. I don't want it to suck. I really don't, because I'm a huge fan of Deadpool. I was the guy who was banging the drum for the Deadpool movie. You, long before the movie even came out, I was like, if this movie gets made and they do it right, it will be one of the biggest hits of the year. And it was done right, and I was totally
Are you
on the money.
surprised they're not doing more with Deadpool, like R-rated animated cartoon? Like they're
Yeah,
not
I
doing
mean,
more with Deadpool.
I am surprised, but at the same time, I think there were some inklings about a project like that. I remember reading something with Donald Glover for FX prior to Disney buying Fox, but then something just didn't work out between Donald Glover or between the new rights holders or the current rights holders or something, and then things just didn't work out on that front. I would love to see a Deadpool TVMA animated series. I think it could have just huge potential to be just absolutely fantastic.
I don't know. That film, man, still looks like garbage to me. Whether Alice Garland
Yeah,
did or not.
I flipped through it, Matt.
What?
The ending is fucking ridiculous. It's just insanity. It's
What
good. It's
is
on.
it?
There's good practical effects, but it's just fucking weird ass shit about this
Spoilers. Spoilers for anyone who
this
want to know. Go
this
ahead.
man this the Green Man or some shit, and he fucking
Green
gives
Man.
birth to a
Why is he called the
man.
Green Man?
I don't remember if it was called a Green Man or not, but it's
Green
this like
Mile.
it's like this sort of it's like something from mythology, and it gives birth to a baby, and then the baby turns into an adult, like a man or something. It's just fucking weird. It's weird. It's
So it's
fucking weird.
extra.
It did kind of remind me of that a little
So it's extra.
bit.
Where
Yeah,
the fucking birth scene in extra because that
yeah,
needs to be come back.
yeah, exactly.
And yeah, it reminded me of a good film like Extra. Wink, wink. And someone's mentioned that the director of Prey said this is not a prequel.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, I
Like, what
mean,
is it?
speaking of Prey, we might as well talk about the recent reaction, the first reactions to Prey from people who
All
saw it.
the you mean the conglomeration of cock sucking and
Mm-hmm.
ball licking and taint
Yeah.
pushing
Yeah.
that it's better than the original.
Uh huh.
It's better. It's they say the two things. It's best since the original,
Uh
or it's
huh.
better than the original. And already I'm like, y'all full of someone called Jack shit.
Uh huh.
Pray. I mean, come on, yeah,
Yeah.
sure,
I smelled
sure.
so much bullshit reading those, because it just, like you said, it's a fucking party over there at the Comic Con, and they're paid critics. They get all these extra perks. They get to go to these premieres and shit. They get to do these exclusive interviews with these directors and other people in the industry. They're not gonna do anything other than glad hand them or suck their cock, because otherwise, or their pussy, if you know, because not everyone has a cock. But you know,
Or the twat waffle,
yeah, they're gonna
or
do
the
that
or
because they
the
don't want to
Twitter
lose
Twitter.
they don't want to lose their privileges. They don't want to get on people's bad side, so they'll just talk about how great and awesome the movie is.
Better than the right there when he tell me it's better than the original.
Yeah,
I already know. I don't. It's white
yeah,
noise to me.
uh
It's
huh.
like okay,
Well,
go
it's like
suck
the
it on
same people who
your
said RoboCop in 2014 was better than fucking the original.
go suck on your Twitter Twitter. I mean, uh,
And then the
yeah,
whole
but
and I'm not and I said it on Facebook. I'm like, I will not take this Predator 2 slander with this fucking bullshit, like just ignoring it, acting like it doesn't even exist or it's not even that good, or saying things like Prey is the true successor to the first Predator. I'm like,
They
how
said
does
that
that
about
even make any sense? It's a fucking prequel. How is it a successor? Do you know? Do you understand what a successor is? It doesn't happen before.
as in our timeline as in movies since
Oh,
'87.
okay, okay.
But they said that about every film.
Mm-hmm.
I bet there are people saying about AVP
Well,
at the
you
premiere.
mentioned that they said that shit about the Predator.
Yeah, they said it was. They talk about great pacing and fun
Yeah,
characters, and it's R-rated, and
it's the Predator film that fans have been waiting for. You know, that kind of shit.
I got that. It's called Predator 2. That was the one I was waiting
Uh-huh.
for. Sorry, you're not going to get better than Danny Glover punching a guy in the face or saying "fuck
Fuck
yourself"
yourself.
or sorry. I mean, people saying that about you mentioned RoboCop 2014. Someone mentioned Batman v Superman. Remember when that
Mm-hmm.
came out and said,
Yep.
"My God, they beat Marvel in one movie that they've done in 10 years. They already caught up in one movie. And it's Batman v Superman." You mean the one where Lex Luthor with a bottle of piss?
Yep.
What was the Granny's tea or whatever?
Yeah, it was
They
piss. It
Yeah,
was.
but
Yes.
he called it Granny's tea. Maybe
Yeah.
he got it from his granny, and that's her
Uh-huh.
version of tea was her piss, or
Yeah.
whatever. Maybe he could drink the piss for all I care. God damn it, man!
Speaking of Batman vs Superman, apparently there were a bunch of like Snyder fans who were thinking that the Snyderverse is gonna be brought back,
Why?
and now
Why?
they're like pissed off and bummed that like that's not happening because there was like an announcement recently where like somebody at WB and DC was like, no, that's not happening. We're not doing that.
Good.
I
It
know.
sucked. It sucked, in my opinion. It sucked. It fucking sucked. It sucked. AIDS. It sucked balls. That shit gave me AIDS. I just fought it off to get back, Magic Johnson style. I just had the HIV. Fuck that Snyder STD facility of filmography. The shitterverse. The shysterverse. The shitterverse, yeah. I don't care about Snyder's films or Snyder's cuts. Snyder's films, I'll watch Guardian. Almost said Guardians of the Galaxy. Legend of the Guardians. Is that what's
Yeah.
called? The Owls of Ga'Hoole. Dawn of the
Yeah,
Dead, the
that was good.
remake. I can watch 300 and Watchmen compared to this stuff. But
Mhm.
lately, Army of the Dead, kiss my ass.
I didn't see
Honestly,
the Army of the Dead prequel because I didn't give a shit about it. Oh no, C. Thomas Howell's twin is gonna be starring in it. It's like I don't give a shit. I don't want to see that movie.
that wasn't worth
Or Anthony
squat.
Michael Hall. That's what I meant. C. Thomas Howell.
One or the other.
Yeah, one or the other.
Uh, Preminator, I haven't had time to see that, but thank you for the gift.
Oh yeah,
Hey, Rick.
Samaritan. That finally got a release date. It's coming out in August, and they already put out a poster.
Yeah, you streaming?
Yeah, Amazon.
Yeah, I figured. I mean, it was easy to figure out when it disappeared for so long.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Did
I
you
don't
see
know.
the trailer for the Dungeons and Dragons movie, Matt?
The movie from back in the day? Have I seen
No,
that
the new
movie?
one. The new Dungeons and Dragons, like Honor Among Thieves or whatever I think is what it's called, Chris Pine.
Have I seen the movie?
The trailer.
Oh, I thought you said movie. The
No,
trailer.
the trailer.
Yeah, it was there.
Uh-huh.
I was there. I mean, it looked like just a Guardians of the Galaxy with
Yeah.
dragons.
It looked like a very Marvel-esque movie. Like just copy the Marvel formula but throw in Dungeons and Dragons stuff.
I mean, it looks better than the older one that doesn't tape much, but
Yeah, no. Not at all. With fucking
I mean,
Jeremy Irons and easily one of
Marlon
his
Wayans.
worst performances of his career.
Yeah, I just. What do you think of the trailer?
It was very generic. It was like the plot seemed like something I've seen a million times. The action looked like it could be fun. The villain seemed to be incredibly weak and like a nothing burger type of character. Chris Pine, I think, is horribly miscast. I really don't think that he fits in that kind of film, um, especially with the rest of that cast. But it's something I watch on streaming. Like I won't pay money to see that. That'd be like
Or quick,
paying money for a Jose Canseco bat.
let me just say hi to the people out there. Jonathan Lindsay, Good Guy, hope you're doing well. Ultra Edo, Michael, Predominator, DJ Diley, I Hate Facebook, Rich, who's a writer who has some experience with Oliver Gruner. I'll put it that way.
Oh yeah, was he the one that did like Sector Team whatever something? What it was?
Sector
7.
What the title was?
Sector 7.
He probably won't forget about it too.
Sector 9.
I won't say too much. I don't want to get him in trouble.
So Goosebumps. Yeah, Cole.
Oh yeah, Goosebumps.
I grew up watching that show on Fox Kids and ABC Family, and I used to read the books all the time. I actually have Goosebumps, the TV show right here. Actually, hold on.
It was Sector 4 Extraction.
Oh, so I was close. Close enough.
It was half of
Goosebumps, the complete series. It was only released in its complete form overseas. And this is out of print now and like going crazy for crazy prices. It's like the first thing I think I bought from Zavi, actually. Importing it from the UK. And it was like $20 just to import it from the UK. It was a good deal. It's region locked though, so if you don't have a region free player, then can't really do much. I think it's streaming though. I think it's streaming. The show is very campy. And I normally don't use the word cheesy, but I do think that could definitely apply to some episodes of that show. Like, absolutely. But there's a certain charm to it, though. Some episodes are definitely better than others, that's for damn sure. Some are really fucking bad.
I've seen reviewed a couple episodes of Goosebumps. I didn't mind them for what they were. I think it was The Haunted Mask 1 and 2.
That's a good one. Like that's one of the first ones, I think. Yeah, the first episode I think was Haunted Mask.
There you go. Hello there.
Hey.
So, sorry, I'm just trying to with this phone. It's really sketchy. I have no idea what this is. Get off.
Oh yeah, the Kang Dynasty. It's a Avengers movie or something like that.
Oh, that's the thing they're doing later with their phase.
Fuck. Yeah, I fucking love Tales from the Crypt. Tales from the Crypt is arguably my favorite show. And what's interesting is Matt's not really that big of a fan, but it's cool. You know, I'm not gonna be like, well, fuck him. Doesn't like Tales from the Crypt. No, I mean it's cool. It's not for everybody, but I love that show.
Yeah, I would say I'm more into Culture at the Night Stalker and X-Files. That's kind of my Tales.
Those are good too, for sure.
Who should be the villain for the new Batman film? I don't even know if they're doing a sequel. Honestly,
I think they will do a sequel eventually. The first one did well enough.
People say it like underperformed considering all the buzz and hype.
I still think it's probably going to get one. I think we talked about this before. I would like to see Mr. Freeze or Hugo Strange.
I'll go with Mr. Freeze, played by Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, good choice. Hopefully they don't kill him off like they did in Godzilla.
Yeah, I hope so. Speaking of that, did you hear about Kurt Russell?
No.
He's in the new Godzilla show.
Oh, okay.
He's going to be in the new Godzilla TV show they're doing.
Alrighty.
I don't know what it's for. I don't know what channel. Not channel, but what service. But I mean,
Yeah,
you know, Kurt
fuck,
Russell's Kurt Russell.
I do remember the Hitchhiker. I actually have that series as well. It's a bootleg, but it's because it was because it's almost impossible to get that entire series any other way. So yeah, I have a bootleg of every episode of that show. I still haven't watched every episode, but the few that I've seen I thought were pretty good. The Hitchhiker really is like the predecessor to Tales from the Crypt in a lot of ways because it's like the first anthology show that HBO showcased on their network or their channel.
And for those, yeah, I did hear that there'd be a sequel to the Batman, but I mean, how many times have they said there's going to be one that it never happens? I mean, how many times have they said there's going to be a Crow reboot for the
Oh, that's
past
not
10
dead yet,
years?
though. It's
Yeah, I
still not
know.
dead.
They'll never be dead, but they'll never be made either. How
Oh,
long has it
speaking
been?
of things
From
that
a
were
Spawn
rebooted,
movie?
yeah, the
Remember the
Spawn
Spawn
movie.
movie? That's going to be made with Jamie Foxx?
That's not happening.
Yeah, that was like, 5 years straight. The
Yeah.
Spawn movie, it's going to be a Spawn movie. And the guy's like, I got news next week.
Yeah,
And
fuck.
that's
Just a quickly
yeah.
answer. Yeah, Amazing Stories. Big fan of that as well. One of my favorite episodes is Head of the Class with Christopher Lloyd. I also like a lot of other ones, like The Main Attraction. That's a fun one. Mummy Daddy. I really enjoy that one. The one with the Sam Waterston. I forgot what the name of it is, but The Mirror, I think, maybe, or Mirror. Like that one scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. And I haven't seen the reboot though of that fucking series because there was a reboot. Remember, there's an Amazing Stories reboot on like Apple, like that pretty much everybody has already fucking forgotten about.
I,
And yeah, 80s Twilight Zone, big fan of that, especially the first season. Huge fan of that series. I've been finishing up that series recently, finishing up season 3. So yeah, huge fan of that. Big fan of pretty much almost every anthology. Uh, some of the lesser known ones like Darkroom. Oh, okay. All right, director screenwriter. You bought your first 4K TV. I would recommend going with a Panasonic. I think it's like a 820. Like that might be a little bit too pricey. It's in $200 something range. Actually, it's a little bit more than that. It's like 400 something bucks. So maybe go with the one below it, or go with like a Sony or a LG. I would stay away from anything else though. Panasonic, Sony, LG. Those are the ones I'd probably go with. Mainly, I would probably stick with Panasonic and Sony. LG would be like something like you could do, like if you don't have another option.
whew. The
Because I think you
what's
have
the word?
a Panasonic, right, Matt?
Yeah.
Is it still working fine for
Mm-hmm.
you? Cool.
Yep. Thank you. I like this. Yeah. Movies so low budget, you have to pay them.
Yeah.
But sorry, I'm just going to look on the computer because his phone and just the screen's a bit too small. So I
Yeah.
apologize, guys. One person says I liked *Malignant* for its 80s over the topness. Yes, I agree. That's
Yeah.
one of the reasons I liked it, and people shit on it.
Didn't do very well either.
It was complete
Dark
utter
Cloud.
bomb.
I have a Samsung 4K TV. I've had no issues so far with burn-in, but at the same time, I don't use my TV, and all of that like all the time, every day, nonstop. So I think maybe it just depends on how much you use it. But I haven't had any issues with that, and I didn't have any issues with burn-in with the previous Samsung TV I had for a couple years.
Hmm.
Oh, that's awesome. That's cool.
Well, I mean,
So
yeah, that's really neat.
I think his profile picture is that movie Alien 3000. Did he also write that? I, I, I still haven't seen that, but I always remember seeing that poster, like with that cover art.
Yeah, it's Alien 3000.
Yeah, I went
The
to go to a Hollywood Video when they were still around, and I would
because
always
of
see
the
that one.
xenomorph, yeah.
And then I would never rent it, but it would always catch my eye though.
Actually, it didn't rip off Alien. It ripped off Deep Space. Charles Napier.
Oh,
Maybe that's what
okay.
it ripped off. Alien 3000. Maybe that's what that movie did with the teen alien.
Should have it be like you have a double feature of Alien 3000, Dracula 3000, actually a triple feature, and then America 3000.
He says, I did not write Alien 3000. I worked in the video store when it came out, and my buddies and I still joke about it to this day.
Yeah.
It'd still be better than Alien 3.
Yeah, I did see
How,
Dominion. I did see
yeah.
Dominion, Michael. 3 stars. Like initially, I was like, because I just watched it, and I was like, oh, it's not that bad. But then I thought about it some more. I'm like, oh, it really slows down after the first hour, and there's this other dumb stuff, and then there's this. There's some lines. I mean, for the most part, I think it does handle the legacy characters well, but there are some moments where it's kind of cringe. Like you don't need to hear Ellie Sadler say Alan slid into her DMs. Like I don't want to hear that. And I also don't want to hear Dr. Ian Malcolm talk about how he had a dog that humped his leg so much that it gave him a callus on his shin. I don't want to hear that either.
Oh.
So it's I don't think it's as bad as people are making it out to be, but at the same time, it's not what I would call like a great Jurassic Park movie. But it was entertaining. It was fun. I think I have that freaking movie on VHS. I swear, I think I do have that on VHS somewhere.
Yeah, people talk about the Black Phone. I have not seen it. Mike has just done a review for
Yeah.
it. Who those who want to check it out, it is on his channel.
I did see it, and I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. I do think it could have been a little bit better. For instance, I think it could have had a bit more of a visceralness or an edge to it, because it kind of didn't really show a lot of stuff in terms of what the grabber does.
What was it rated?
It was rated R.
And so it's a star?
Yeah, it's kind of a weak R, to be perfectly honest. Like there's a little bit of blood here and there, like there's some gore, like a guy gets an axe in the head, and there's some aftermath stuff, but it's not really that gory of a. I think it's more R for the subject matter and the intensity of certain things. The two main kid actors though were fantastic and are absolutely worth watching the film for just for their work alone. And of course, the director Scott Derrickson once again did a great job, and I really think they nailed the '70s aesthetic that they were going for as well. And I like the whole stuff with the ghosts on the phone. It does give me vibes of like Tales from the Dark Side or some of these other sort of stuff. Like it does seem like something that would be a part of an anthology, which makes sense because it's a short story, and it was written by Joe King, who's the son of Stephen King.
Is his name Joe Teen or Joe Hill?
I mean Joe Hill. That's what I meant. Joe Hill.
Okay. So what are your issues with it other than the
there
rating?
There are some pacing problems a little bit. Like I said, the visceralness, like it seems like it like the grabber, you don't see a lot of what he does in terms of what he does to these kids, and I get it, but I think that would have made that character feel even more intimidating or scary in that regard. The masks, nothing is really that explained that much in terms of the masks, why he wears them, what's the purpose of them. They're just there. And there are some other stuff where it is. I mentioned this in the review. It's not a traditional horror film. So if you're expecting like a traditional, straightforward kind of horror movie, That's not what the Black Phone is. The Black Phone is honestly more of like a suspense thriller with some crime drama sort of stuff in terms of like investigating, trying to find where this grabber's house is so they can find a kid before the kid, something happens to him. But yeah,
That's
Ethan
not
Hawke's good in it.
that's not entirely true. They kind of forced him to leave in a way
Yeah.
because they wanted him to do BS they didn't want to do. And you see the new movie, you can see why now.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted a different movie that they wanted. It's kind of like Jon Favreau, Iron Man 2.
Edgar Wright on Ant-Man. Like, that's what happened with Ant-Man. Edgar Wright was originally going to direct that, and then he wanted to go a different direction with things, and then Disney was like, no. Yeah, I'm basically explaining the entire trailer. I know.
So
I know, JW.
Was the movie, the entire trailer, the movie?
Not necessarily. I don't think so. Because I think there were extra stuff with the performances and with the direction and with, certain sequences with Ethan Hawke. So I definitely would say it's absolutely worth a watch. And I would say it's one of the better films I've seen this year. Definitely one of the better horror films. It's better than Scream 5. It's better than Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I liked it a lot more than X.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the trailer alone looked better than those three films combined.
Although I still say, out of the horror films I've seen this year, like Fresh is the one that I've liked the most. But that's one that's going to be very, I don't know if divisive is the right word, but there's going to be people who are going to be like, I wasn't really a big fan of it, because it is a very out there kind of movie. It starts off as a rom-com and then it just goes straight to hell after that and turns into a cannibal horror movie.
Yeah. Let's see.
Raging Bull. Okay. I don't like that movie.
Yeah, I'll pass on that movie.
I've never been a big fan of Raging Bull. It's one of those films where
Me neither.
It's got some great direction. It's got some good performances, but I just can't stand Jake LaMotta as a character. I can't stand that fucking character.
Well, that's the point.
And I know that's the point, but it's kind of like Funny Games, where it gets to a certain point where you're all like, I'm not as invested, And speaking of funny, I still get shit from people about fucking Funny Games. That I didn't get the movie, or I just wanted, more satisfying violence and so on. I'm like, no, the movie just sucks. How about that?
But here's the ironic thing: the director would be glad you said that because he has. I looked it up when I did research before I reviewed that film. He said in interviews, if you finish the film and satisfied, like there's something wrong with you, like you needed it.
I think I might have done something like that too in my video, and he wants you to. He doesn't want you to like the movie. So
yeah,
right.
He doesn't want you to like the film. He's like, if you didn't finish it, then you didn't need it. That was his exact words. And so, like, people apparently they don't listen to the guy who directed it.
No. The thing is with Funny Games, I don't mind the idea of doing like a dark, twisted, sort of meta parody of home invasion or horror films. I think that has potential. But the problem is the director of Funny Games, he hates horror films. He was never a fan of the genre, and he didn't watch that many. In fact, I think I read something he didn't watch. Like, did he not watch any or something like that? I mean, it's one of those things where, he didn't watch much. Either he didn't watch any of them, or he didn't watch many at all. And to me, that's like the worst kind of person to do that kind of satire.
His purpose was to condemn violent films. That was his lecture.
Yeah.
But people said, this is what he literally said, folks, in interviews. So you did all your fucking dot your I's, cross your T's about deeper. He said it. his words.
Yeah.
Sorry you don't get it. I looked at this because like favorite horror films you don't think get much exposure or underrated.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
I'm bringing up my old letterboxed list. That's what I'm doing right now.
I mean, it depends what kind of horror you're talking about, but I mean, Jacob's
So I
Ladder,
have
1990.
I have this
Yeah, go
list.
ahead.
I'll just go through it real quick. That's actually quite long, but 1408,
Yes, that's a good one.
ABC's of Death 2. I think that's one of the better anthologies in forever because it had a crazy good ratio of good segments, like just one
It's,
after another that I thought were at least good, if not great.
it's at least interesting.
Aberration from the late 90s with the late Pamela Gidley.
That's a creature feature that's
Mm-hmm.
fun.
Abominable. Uh,
Matt
Alligator.
McCoy, Alligator, that's a good 1980 film with Robert Forster, may rest in peace.
Alone in the Dark.
That's the 1982,
Yeah, the
not the Uber
1982
Bowl
film.
one.
Yeah.
The 1982 with Jack Palance and Donald Pleasance. And
one of the first New Line horror films that they released, if I remember correctly, in theaters.
from the guy who directed
Amityville.
The Hidden and Elm Street 2.
Yeah, Jack Shoulder. Amityville 2, The Possession. Amityville 1992, It's About Time, because it's my list.
Yeah, I haven't seen that
Amsterdam.
one. Yes, Amsterdam is an interesting slasher film, but it's like a cop movie. It has a good boat chase that would fit well in a James Bond movie. That's how good it is.
Definitely.
It's an interesting Dutch slasher, but cop movie. Amsterdam.
Anguish.
I haven't seen it.
Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. The Dream Master.
Let me throw in the Blob remake from 1988. Absolutely adore
That's
that.
also on my list.
Want to throw in Leviathan, it's a personal favorite of mine, from 1989. Shocker with Horace Pinker. Yes. That's the way it is. Deep Rising. Love Deep Rising with Tree Williams. Fun creature feature.
That's on my list as well. Deep Rising.
Love the Relic. That's with Tom Sizemore. I think that's underrated. I enjoyed Death Machine.
Yeah. Got April Fool's Day, not the remake, because the remake is fucking horrible.
The 1986 one. Interesting twist, which I won't give away.
As Above, So Below. Well, I'm not a huge fan of the found footage genre, and I was really surprised by that one. And it does not get enough credit.
We saw that together for the first time and was pleasantly surprised. It's like an adventure. It's a good setting. It's like an adventure horror found footage film. It doesn't end typical either. It's actually a different type of ending.
Yeah. Bad Dreams from 1988.
It's there.
Bad Moon. I think that's a pretty good one.
Decent werewolf film.
I put this film Basement Jack because I actually didn't mind it, and I actually remember like the star of the movie commented on my review years ago.
I haven't seen that one.
Basket Case. Behind the Mask.
You mentioned Arachnophobia. That's a good one.
Yeah, I did. I had it on my list as well. Arachnophobia, because I really have always enjoyed that one.
You mentioned Behind the Mask, Lizzie Vernon.
Mm-hmm. The Believers of Martin Sheen.
Interesting one.
Bless the Child, I thought was pretty good. But then again, this is an older list. Blood Diner.
It's a crazy
really fun, campy, weird movie. Body Parts with Jeff Fahey.
Tabitha asks, is The Hitcher horror or more suspense psychological, in your opinion? I love The Hitcher from 1986. It's one of my favorites.
I always kind of looked at it more as a thriller of sorts. You know, suspense, thriller. It's got horror elements, but I've never really saw it like a straightforward horror film. But it's still great.
Fantastic movie.
Yeah, absolutely. I have um, Bug from 1975. That was a really
Oh,
interesting.
I thought you were going to say the William Friedkin film. Like,
Not
what?
that one. I know. For a first, you'd be like, "What? That movie sucks." I know. Yeah, Bug, the '70s one. Cameron's Closet, because it's my list. I actually think that's pretty good for what it is. A direct-to-video, like low-budget movie. Got a lot of imagination in it. The Changeling, fucking adore that movie. That movie is amazing. Just one of the best slow burn haunted house films
George C. Scott.
ever. That's a film I point to people who are like, "Oh, you just can't handle slow burn movies." I'm like, no. One of my favorite films is The Changeling, and that
Yeah,
is
and I
the
also
epitome
yeah,
of a slow burn.
and with that, I also mentioned like Jacob's Ladder 1990 and
Yeah,
Session 9. So I
yeah,
mentioned Razorback. Razorback is a good one.
yeah.
Russell
Cooties.
Mulcahy before he did Highlander.
Cooties is a really fun horror comedy that, like, I was pretty surprised it even got made.
Yeah, with Elijah
considering,
Wood.
considering the plot. It's
Well,
taking
tell me
out
the
zombie
plot.
kids. It's zombie. A bunch of kids get infected with some zombie virus, and adults have to fend for themselves against these zombie kids.
Yeah,
And
in a
it's
school.
fucking yeah, in a school, and
And
it's gory, and they're fucking killing kids and fucking them up, and this one guy lights them on fire. Playtime is over.
it stars Elijah Wood.
Yeah. Um, I have Critters 2 and Curse 2 because Curse 2 is just so fucking batshit weird, insane.
I
Like
do
it's
like
not a
Critters
great
too.
movie, but it's definitely something that you don't see a lot of. Like a guy with a fucking snake for a hand. The Dark Side of the Moon, 90s
Mm.
sci-fi horror film. Um, Dead Heat with Joe Piscopo and Treat Williams. Uh,
Yeah, it depends also like what kind of horror you're looking for. Are you
yeah.
looking for slasher, creature feature,
Mm-hmm.
psychological, found footage? There's just so many attributes to go into.
Yeah. Uh, Deadly Blessing, Deadly Friend, Deadly Spawn, um, Deathgasm. I thought that was pretty good. Deathgasm was a pretty good heavy metal horror film. Deep Blue
Yeah, from
Sea.
for me, I'm gonna mention The Mangler. I
Yeah,
love The Mangler.
yeah.
I
I
do
really
have
like
the
that one
Scream Factory.
too.
I do have the Stream Factory Blu-ray, so that's why on Facebook I'm like, maybe I'll pick this up because I'm curious to hear the commentaries because I'm such
Mm,
a fan.
yeah,
Arrow Video did one, but I love the Mangler. That's one that's so strange but
yeah.
fun. Bullshit
Bullshit
reality, reality
reality.
bullshit. This is bullshit, Mark. This is bullshit.
Yeah, and it was really cool to see Ted Levine in that kind of role because most of the time Ted Levine is like playing a bad guy. It was pretty much typecast after Silence of the Lambs.
Until he did the TV show Monk, and then he was the captain,
Mm-hmm.
and he was a good guy for many years after
Yeah,
that, and
yeah.
that one.
But he was back to being a bad guy again in Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom.
Oh yeah. Who's the bad guy in Jurassic World? Was that Vincent D'Onofrio?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of typecast, like that's definitely. I also have Dolls because I think that one's pretty overlooked. That's a pretty solid Stuart Gordon flick. Um, Deliver Us from Evil. Speaking of Scott Derrickson, I really like
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, yeah, over here. I enjoy that one as well. Thought that was a pretty decent flick. Uh, I
The
always mention,
Entity. I thought The Entity was pretty good, pretty solid horror drama. Great performance from Barbara Hershey. The ending was kind of I can see why critics were like, really? They're gonna freeze the ghosts in a gymnasium? Like, yeah, that was a little but I still like The Entity. Exorcist 3, another George C. Scott horror film with
Yeah,
one of the best
Exorcist 3
jump
is great.
scares ever.
Would you say The Kindred?
Yeah, that's on my list. I really enjoy it. I think it's a really good creature feature. It's even better now that you get to see that the uncut version is available, and it's you can actually see what the fuck is going on. Because there's a lot of stuff where the VHS copies that were available, you can barely see anything. Fade to
So,
black.
yeah. Yes, Fade to Black is a good one. Someone mentioned The Unnameable. I like that one. That's a childhood favorite
Yeah,
of mine. I like The Unnameable. I wish it
I
was a
got
better
this.
Blu-ray because that company
Yeah,
is. They did interviews with like people through Skype, and then like the commentary, like the audio's not the best, and
yeah, weird.
that company like disappeared. Like after Dark Side of the
They're
Moon
they're
and Unnameable.
they're still doing stuff, but like it's not on the same level. That's for
Okay, I
sure.
never hear about them, so
Yeah.
go figure.
Speaking of stuff that people don't really talk about or you don't hear much about, the 1990 film Fear. I have that on my list because I've always thought that was a pretty solid suspense thriller, and most people don't even know that film even exists with Ali Sheedy. She plays like a psychic, and it's got some nice cinematography and direction and good performances.
Oh God,
Definitely one of the best performances by Ali Sheedy.
someone mentioned Leprechaun. If you want me to puke and stand up and show my balls to the camera so that Leprechaun can suck them,
One of the best
sure.
things that one of the
Every
only
Leprechaun can.
one of the only
What?
great things about Leprechaun for me is like that bit in Wayne's World 2. Like, oh, I'm the Leprechaun. I'm the Leprechaun man.
You know what, there, Leprechaun? Leprechaun can suck my dick. You are a fucking prick. Go
Yeah.
fuck yourself all night long. You're a piece of shit. All your movies suck dick. You can kiss my ass. Don't give me no sass. Go fuck yourself. Leprechaun's the worst franchise of all time. The shittiest franchise of all time. It's up there. It's in top 5 at least.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, just not
Yeah.
one single one of them is worth a shit. Do you like any
Uh,
Leprechaun films that you've
I
seen?
haven't seen. I mean, I've only seen the first 3, and they all sucked. I gave up.
Sadly, they all suck.
I was doing a marathon years ago, and I
You
fucking
gave
quit.
up. You quit. You quit.
I tapped out. I was like, no. Going back to good horror films, though, The First Power with Lou Diamond Phillips.
Yes, I love the first Power.
See you around, buddy boy.
The only thing I don't like about the Blu-rays with the jump, you can see the wire
Yeah.
on the jump. Like you can on the DVD, but on the Blu-ray, it's so HD that you can see the wire when he jumps down. I wish they would have fixed that, but other than that, I love the Blu-ray and love
The
the
Fly
movie.
2. I think The Fly 2 is a criminally underrated sequel. Great effects. A really unique creature design. Some good performances by a majority of the cast. I don't mind the script. I actually think the script is pretty solid.
Yeah, JW, we mentioned Shocker. We mentioned that. That's a good one. And Falk, you two.
Yeah.
We mentioned the Changeling. We mentioned how much we enjoy George C. Scott and the slow burn of that great ghost story movie.
But yeah, The Fly 2, I've always liked it ever since I saw it on TV on AMC with my dad during like a horror marathon. And I actually got to meet Chris Walas in person, who directed that film and did the effects for The Fly, and told him in person how much I appreciated his work in that movie, and he really appreciated it because he did a great job directing that film, especially if you compare it to the other makeup effects artists who directed films like Chris Walas. I mean, Chris Walas compared to like what's his Brian the guy Kevin Yeager. He directed Bloodline. So if you compare the two, like Chris Walas is definitely ahead of
Well,
the
Kevin
game.
Yeager was best around
Oh yeah,
behind the
he
scenes as
definitely
well,
was
to be
100%.
fair.
To be fair,
It's funny. Someone mentioned Christine. I'm like, I don't mind it. I have one of the stars here. He's right here. I wasn't working on Christine, Mike.
You shitters.
Mike starred in Christine. You guys didn't know that? He starred in the movie. He's got stories to tell. I wasn't working with John Carpenter.
It was awesome. It was great.
Yeah, John Carpenter had Halloween, so yeah. I wasn't working with John Carpenter.
It was awesome. It was a dream come true. But yeah, going back to The Fly 2, I loved the idea in the climax where the monster is the hero. That is so unique. That is so original. You just don't see that much in the genre. That's why I honestly would love to see like a Friday the 13th movie that's just like maybe part of like a different alternate universe or something where Jason is like a hero of some kind in, like a revenge vigilante slasher movie. Be kind of cool.
And yeah, I loved working on Hills of Eyes remake. It let me keep the axe and all. I loved working on it. I loved the action. I loved working on the film. I loved killing mutants. My daily job. When I'm on your YouTube, I go out there killing mutants with axes. Love it.
Yeah.
My part-time job. That's why I love it.
Speaking of Friday the 13th, I got a couple of those films on there. I've got Part 2, because I actually think Part 2 is great for what it is, despite the fact that like the first 10-15 minutes is just a lot of flashback stuff. New Blood. It would be even better if you actually had the uncut footage, but as it is, it's still quite good. Has the best looking Jason.
Well, I have an uncut version.
Series.
It's VHS quality, but I gladly watch it. I got an uncut version of The New Blood.
And the Friday the 13th remake, because that really surprised me. I really was surprised by that one. I thought it was pretty good. I've got a Graveyard Shift. Get you on Star Search.
Oh yeah, I love Graveyard Shift.
Oh yeah, yeah, I'm also in Jason Goes to Hell. Get to kick Jason's ass.
Wait, okay, well, hold up one sec. I was looking up news. That was supposed to be Namor and Black Panther 2?
Yeah, that's Namor. The dude with the pointy ears and earrings and shit. It looks like he's from an Aztec temple. Yeah, that's Namor.
I thought Namor was Asian.
I don't know if he's Asian or not, but I think it's just kind of a look. There's no.
Does anyone Donnie Yen back in the day?
Yeah. I think it's like either or kind of thing. Like it doesn't. It can be a white guy, or it could be somebody of mixed race or whoever.
I didn't even know that was supposed to be Namor. I had to be told. I guess you
didn't know it was Namor. I didn't know it was Namor initially either until later. Yeah, Hardware. Falk, I actually have that on my list. I don't think Matt's as big of a fan of it though. Hardware.
Which I don't mind it. I liked it a bit more the second time.
Yeah. I think that one is pretty underrated. The director seems like he might be kind of a piece of shit, but I'm not gonna judge the film solely for that. Like, I'm not that kind of person where I'll go, oh, fuck this movie because it's so and so, unless it's Victor Salva. Then I'll be like, fuck Clown House. I'm never watching that movie.
Did Mike watch Netflix's Resident Evil? No, he didn't see that.
No, I didn't. I still haven't seen all the other Resident Evil movies either, and I have them in 4K.
And he didn't see the Welcome to Raccoon City?
No.
He didn't see that?
Nope.
You did not see any of that?
No. I did see The Guardian, though. William Friedkin film. That's on my list. I like that one. It's trippy. It's weird. It's got a fucking evil tree. The guy takes down with a fucking chainsaw. It's just bleeding everywhere. And it deals with a nymph, I think. A tree nymph. Stealing babies.
Oh my
Henry
god.
Portrait of a Serial Killer, really like that one. The Hidden, love The Hidden, such a classic. The Hidden has a Blu-ray by Warner Archive, but like it's kind of bare. It's essentially bare bones. Yeah, she was a druid. Yeah, but I think she was also a nymph. I could be wrong though.
Jesus Christ.
What?
I was looking at movie news.
Uh-huh.
I literally had to scroll down 40 articles to get to one that's not a superhero movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is Interview with the Vampire AMC TV show.
Yeah.
But everything's like, look at this. DC's Comic-Con was so disappointing. Dwayne Johnson makes electrifying entrance at Comic-Con. First look at MCU Kane. Who are Shazam 2's villains? One aspect of having power Shazam 2. Will Shazam 3 happen? The Blade. Fuck the Blade. Fuck the tip. Fuck the handle. Ant-Man 3 footage description. Captain America 4 released.
Yeah.
Guardians 3. Namor the Submariner. Black Panther. Marvel Phase 4, 5, and 6. Because Marvel Phase 4 was so good. It's been so good so far, hasn't it, guys? It's been so good. I can name all the good movies. Oh, no, I can't. I can't name shit. Oh, a Fast and Furious one. Good. Wow. Now, a non-superhero, and it's a Fast and Furious 11. Toss the Fast and Furious 11. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. It's to the point where it's fatigued. It happens with anything that's been lasting for so goddamn long.
I thought the 10th one was the last. They're doing an 11?
One thing I do, I mean, there's many things that I appreciate about the Mission Impossible franchise, but one thing that I also appreciate about it is that Tom Cruise and pretty much everyone else who's involved with it has been very upfront about the fact that this two-parter is it. Like, this is it. Like, Dead Reckoning 1 and 2, that is it. And then the franchise will be done.
Until they reboot it.
Yeah, but I mean, it'll probably be a while since Tom Cruise, I think, his company owns rights.
Fast and Furious 10 got broken into 2 parts, so that's why there's 11.
Oh, okay. Well, Dead Reckoning, it seems like there's a legit reason for that being broken up into 2 parts. I mean, the teaser trailer alone was fucking great, better than any Fast and the Furious trailer I've seen in a long time. And then this is what I've been hearing. These are the rumors I've been hearing, Matt, is that in the second part, Tom is going to go into space. Like, he's going to actually be in fucking space. In that space station.
Oh, Fast and Furious beat him to space. I know what you mean. In real space. I know in real. I've
real
heard
space. And you know it'll be fucking phenomenal. It'll be jaw dropping and just unbelievable because of just how.
But what could really be done in actual space that's safe?
I don't know. Tom Cruise will figure something out. Figure some shit out, man.
Yeah, but what if like this is where it happens and then he dies in space?
I don't know. If he does, then he died doing what he loved.
I mean, that'd be a legendary way to go. Died in
Absolutely.
Space. He's a shooting star.
And would you be surprised? Would you be like, Tom Cruise dies in space? You'd be like, well, yeah, okay. He is a Scientologist.
He's literally a shooting falling star. I mean, they don't go, it's a way to go.
Definitely.
Oh my god.
Going back to my list here, I got Hollow Man. I think that one's pretty solid. Especially when it comes to like all the shit that Paul Verhoeven got for that film when it came out.
Yeah, I enjoy that.
To the point where he just stopped. He was just like, all right, I'm done. I'm not doing US American movies anymore. House of Wax remake. Yeah, I know Paris Hilton, but that's a pretty damn good movie if you ask me. Good effects.
I like it.
Um, pretty interesting. Definitely one of the better remakes out there. Jack's Back with James Spader. Really like that one. It's a good thriller.
I liked it as well. I don't think it's boring like other people do.
No, I don't. I never did it. I always thought that one was interesting. It was another one from the Fangoria list of 101 most unhated horror films. In the Mouth of Madness, great John Carpenter flick.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Goes to Hell. Yeah, I have it on my list because I love Jason Goes to Hell. Not just because I'm in the movie, but because I've always thought that film was a blast. It's got great gore, especially if you watch the uncut version. It goes by at a good pace. It's fun. It's unique. Yeah, it's the hidden with Jason, but it's the hidden two that I wanted. Like I don't want the actual hidden two. The actual hidden two is a massive piece of shit. Jason Goes to Hell is a much better hidden two, and also at the same time, okay, yeah, it's not your typical Friday the 13th movie, but at this point in the franchise, isn't that a good thing? That they do something different, that they put a new spin on things, that they try to go into a different direction instead of just Jason killing teens in the woods
They thought the different
again.
stuff though.
Yeah. I mean, Jason Goes to Hell still gets a lot of shit from Friday the 13th fans. I'm on forums and stuff like that, and I'm on Facebook and other collectors groups, and they're like, that's the worst one, and it's such a piece of shit, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, to each their own, but
What reasons do they say?
they do the same shit that you see people that people gave Halloween 3 shit for back in the day. Oh, Jason is in it, but it's not really Jason.
So like
Or
Friday 13th Part 5, but they don't mention that one.
yeah,
No.
I know,
How much is Jason's in the first one?
I know,
How much
I
is he in the
know,
first one? How much is the hockey mask in the second film? Since there's a
I
hockey,
know.
how much are hockey mask second film? Oh, so the first one, I guess they hate the first one because Jason, the hockey mask ain't in that one, except a little kid for 30 seconds. It was too goofy. Well, the first one's goofy too. You have a 80-year-old woman throwing people through windows like potatoes.
Yep.
And Bing Crosby's was his cousin, his nephew. His
I've seen
nephew,
people.
Harry Crosby. He
Yeah,
hung on a door with arrows.
yeah.
And she did that. Man, she's got that super strength. She got the mom cornflakes eating to lift that big guy on the door and hang arrows on it. Jesus Christ.
She's eating
How do
those
you explain
Wheaties.
that shit?
The
Definitely
breakfast
those
of
weeds.
champions.
And then remember that woman that went through the window looking like
Yeah.
a sack of potatoes? And you telling me that this 30-pound woman who's like 70 years old did that?
Mm-hmm.
How the hell did she do that? Explain to me, please. And you want to, talk about goofy. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't hate the first film, by the way. I don't hate the first one, but it's less on the list.
Mm-hmm.
I like a lot of the sequels more.
Me too.
I can watch 5. That's the thing.
Jason,
The only one I hate is Part 8. That's the only one I hate.
I'm not as big. Like I'm not super big on Part 5, but like I maybe need to give another shot. But I don't remember really
No, I
liking
mean I
it
can
so much.
understand. I wouldn't say I'm big. It's not one of my
Yeah,
favorites. I do watch Part 5 for what it is.
yeah,
It's just too bad the gore was cut.
yeah. Part 8 though, it's the darkest side of my ass.
But I mean, okay, what else do you say about Jason Goes to Hell? Oh, no Jason. Well, there's no Jason in the first one. I
Yeah.
guess they hate that then. There's no Jason in Part 5. They better hate that then. There's no Hockey Mask in
The
Part 2. I guess
goofy
they better hate that
stuff.
one.
It's like I've seen some people say something about the realism, and I'm like, well, no, these aren't realistic
realism?
films. That's stupid.
What realism?
I know. Yeah.
Part 2, he was a mongoloid. Well, I'm not supposed to say that. He was. That's a technical term that they use to describe
Yeah,
Jason.
I'm a Jason fan too, Julie, but I'm definitely more of a Freddy fan as well. Like I like Jason, and I like the Friday the 13th franchise, but my favorite horror franchise is A Nightmare on Elm Street because there's only one film. There's two films that suck, but You know.
Yeah. Yeah, realism. What the hell? People really said that it's not realistic, and that's why they didn't like
I
it?
saw somebody. Yes, there was like a couple people who were doing that.
Realistic. Yeah, part 3 with the eyeball popping up when you see the wire. That's realistic. It's fun. Like fast food, it's fun. I wouldn't call it realistic. Never heard someone describe
Or
Friday the 13th as realistic. The
or
first one's not realistic.
yeah,
Again,
or it's
a
too
30-pound
much
lady,
like
80
Evil
years
Dead.
old, 30-pound lady, 80 years old, lifted Harry Crosby
Yeah,
on a damn door and put arrows in him.
yeah. They say it's. They also say like it's too much like Evil Dead.
There's an Evil Dead book. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
what else about is Evil Dead?
They mentioned like the tone and other stuff, but yeah.
Whatever.
I also have the Keep on my list as well as the Kindred. The Keep is like, when is that fucking movie ever going to come out on Blu-ray officially?
Never. Thank Michael Mann for that.
Yep. And I know some people are saying, well, Michael Mann doesn't actually feel that way. And I'm like, it's been forever and a day, like ages. If he doesn't feel that way, I mean, but at the same time, like, does he really have as much pull now as he once did?
I don't know who owns it. I don't know if he owns a part of it somehow.
Maybe it's
I don't know.
Paramount. It's probably Paramount or some shit, and they don't want to sell the rights. Or it could be a music thing again, like what people have been saying about Tangerine Dream, or that Walking Through the Snow song or whatever they use in the film.
Real quickly before I forget, the other day I watched the guys at Dead Pit had a guy on named Michael Felsher. He worked on Blu-rays.
Yeah.
And I was able to ask questions via chat about some movies.
Cool.
And so he mentioned like the first Watchers.
Mm-hmm.
Like Watchers 2, Corman owns all that and they can get on Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
Another studio, higher studio released this, and so no one knows who really owns the first one.
Oh.
Because like Stream Factory could do Carnosaur 1, 2, 3 because Corman owns all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So he could ball, but in Watchers 2, Watchers 3, but the first one, a bigger studio released it, so Corman doesn't own the whole thing. So no one knows who owns Watchers 1. Nightlife, there was talks of doing it. They were close, but they could not find the negative.
Oh.
Do like a remaster.
Yeah.
Because they were going to do it, but they couldn't find in order to do that. And for folks out, you need to find that in order to, otherwise you can't really do it. Right? It seems like you can't really do it unless you have that.
No, I mean,
maybe
you can't do a remaster. You can't do a proper remaster without the print.
And what was the other one? Murder by Phone. No one knows, has even heard of that movie.
We're not surprised.
There's another one I asked about. I'm trying to think. Night of the Juggler. Something about a producer has some ownership to that, and he wants too much money.
Yeah, that's what I remember hearing too about that one. Some guy wants too much money. Just like what I heard about Martin, which is another film on my list, George Romero's Martin.
I think a deal got. I heard a deal got settled.
Yeah, it did, but not with the extended director's cut. They weren't able to get that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I thought of anything else.
I mean, that makes sense about with some of those titles for sure. I mean,
which is too bad.
It is too bad. Speaking of Night of stuff, like I have Night of the Creeps. Back when Fred Decker actually knew what the fuck he was doing.
He didn't know what he was doing with the Predator, Mike?
No.
Black and Decker?
No,
it's
not
Black
at
and
all.
Decker, Mike. Black and Decker.
Oh, the Pennywise It documentary's coming, JW? Okay. When's RoboDoc coming?
Did you
2032? No, I didn't. I wish I did, but I didn't have the money then. Like I didn't have
when was that first announced?
Fucking hell, man.
Think about the people who put money into like Police Academy, Robo,
Yeah.
Doc.
Yeah, I almost said RoboCop initially too.
Has it been like 7 years
It's
or
been a long
more?
time. 2009.
Wait, how? When?
2009.
Over 10 years. Imagine you put money into this over 10 years ago, and there's still no word on it.
Well, I mean, the word I hear is that they're in post-processing and blah, 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 and
That's still
so
nothing.
on.
I meant
I
actual
know.
like release date.
Yeah. No. I mean, they got
Over
Peter
10
Weller.
years.
After all that time, they were able to get Peter Weller finally.
And it's going to take another 5 years for it to be another trailer.
They did say that. Here's what
Yeah.
I heard, though, is that they are splitting it up into parts. So you have, like, the first part is going to be on the first movie, and then there's
why?
another part that's going to be
Why?
about the sequels and whatever. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Your guess is as good as mine. It's like what happened with the Ghostbusters. It's like what happened with the Ghostbusters documentary. Initially, when they crowdfunded that thing, all the advertising, everything was talking about 2 documentaries.
Yeah.
About Ghostbusters 1 and 2, not just the first film. By the way, I did see that documentary, Clean Up the Town. It was really good. I would say it's easily like the best Ghostbusters making of documentary that I've seen. But
what happened? Whatever happened to part 2?
They're working on it. They're still working on it. That's what happened.
But like all these documentaries people announced, it's been like 10 years. Like the Police
Robert
Academy
Englund documentary, Icon or whatever, by the same people. I don't know what's going on with that one. Yeah, Gabbo. By the time RoboDoc comes out, we'll both have families.
But listen, I understand they take. It's not like they take a year or two. They take longer.
No.
I get that. But over 10 years,
the pandemic definitely hurt. But at the same time, yeah, it's a crazy amount of time.
Yeah, but when was the? Oh, are you sure you're not getting confused with this National Lampoon movie called RoboDoc? And that was 2009.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not. I was gonna say
it's still a long time though. It's been at least.
I'm like, I had to go back to that.
I was just going off of the first IMDb thing.
That's the National Lampoon.
2017.
17. Okay, so it's been 5 years.
Yeah.
And there'll be another 5 years before it gets released. And then it will be 10 years.
They're like synapse, but they never actually, they don't follow through in the same amount of time.
So wait a minute, the people who paid for it, are they going to just get one part?
They're going to get both parts from what I've been hearing. See, the thing is, I didn't have the money. Like, if I had the money at the time, I would have easily, supported it. But
well, I mean, they would have had your money for 5 years, and my name is Earl. Don't get me started on that Turtle Power documentary.
The definitive.
Okay,
of the Ninja Turtles.
I'm sorry. I have to go into this, Mike. Bear with me.
Go ahead.
I have to.
Go ahead.
I gotta take my glasses off for this because I'm migraine. Those assholes.
Yeah.
I chatted with those motherfuckers on a Ninja Turtle forum for years. I had the interview with them on this channel. I deleted them because I was pissed off. They said all this bullshit and all this promises and all this stuff they're doing. They interviewed all these people. And then they released this definitive where 70% of the goddamn history is missing. Half the shit they mentioned wasn't in it. They said, it's definitive, we're not doing it anymore. Then literally months later, oh, one day we're going to have a part 2. Really? You don't have a part 2? Even though you
Speaking of 10 years, like, Matt, that's more accurate for the part 2 for the Ninja Turtles documentary.
That was being started in like 2009.
Yeah.
2008, because it was after the CGI movie.
Uh-huh.
And then it only got released because of the Michael Bay produced first one in 2014, because they released it at like a Target, and it was like, I don't know, what, $5-10 or something, and it was like 80-90 minutes long, and I didn't have, all they said about Ninja Turtles 2 was 30 seconds, and they said it's worse than part 3. That's all they said.
I don't
And
get
part
that, but
3,
okay.
in part 3, they said it's bad, but it's better than part 2. That's all they said for the other 30 seconds.
Oh, that's like Candy Cane Taylor, the reviewer for on the cover for the RoboCop 3 VHS, and the best one yet. Candy
Yeah.
Taylor.
Well, I'll stick with Opie Taylor. And I gotta fight with those guys, because how the fuck is this definitive? Like, all this shit's missing. You said you did this and this. Where is it? You said the 2003 cartoon. There's nothing in there. Where is it? You said you talked to some of the people who voiced the Turtles, like Brian Tochi. You have pictures with them. Where is it? Oh, it's not in it. We decided. No, you fucking did this because you want to milk fucking fans. You want to milk fucking money for this part 2, even though you said it in part. It's fuck them all. They can suck my fucking ball sack. They can stick this can up their ass. They're full of shit. They don't know what the fuck the word definitive is. They don't know what the fuck the word definitive means. Definitive means you dot the I's, you cross the T's. Definitive does not mean you take out 70% of the fucking history. Maybe that's just my word of definitive, but I mean, hey, it's like when they did that fucking horror documentary. What the fuck was it called? In Search of Darkness?
Yeah, In Search of Darkness, where they have like 3 different fucking parts. Yeah.
Yeah,
which
it's
I
definitive.
did pay for. I did support In Search of Darkness. I helped kickstart that one. I paid twice for it, because I paid for the streaming thing, and then I doubled up and I paid for a physical copy. So I paid a pretty penny for that.
And they purposely cut stuff out to make you buy it again.
And then on top of that, they did this shit too, where they're like way after the fact, they're like, oh, we have special editions with Elvira, but you have to re-up or whatever. Like, you can't just buy that instead. You have to pay more to get the special edition with Elvira or Corey Taylor from Slipknot or some shit. And I still haven't seen it, because I've just heard everything about it, and I'm just like, this sounds like a lame I Love the 80s version of horror movies without the same funny personalities. Especially when the majority of it is fucking dead meat, who I don't like.
Who had a shitty radio voice. Because I saw that, because on Ain't No Cool News, they were running this thing where if you want a screening, they'll be sent a screener via, was it Voodoo or not Voodoo? It was a certain site you could watch it for a limited amount of time.
Vimeo.
And Vimeo, thank you. And I saw it, and I saw they purposely had films like Shocker and stuff literally cut out, because they had a timeline, and you could see all the stuff they cut out of the timeline to make you buy the same fucking thing for a second goddamn time to milk people out of their money.
Yeah.
And then even then, it's like either it's the same shit you've heard, or it's someone going, "This is the plot of the movie."
Yeah, I hate that shit. Like, just fucking
from Dead Meat.
Yeah, just the plot of the movie. Like, I don't want to watch that. I've seen this movie.
Half of part 1 was Dead Meat just going, "Hello, I have a fake radio voice and I'm talking to you about this movie." It's like, I could do that my own fucking self. I don't have to pay that much goddamn money for it. I could get you, Fabio, I could get people to talk about these fucking movies, do the same goddamn thing, and you don't learn anything from it, and it's all bullshit. Just like that fucking sci-fi documentary I did not get, because they fucking said Leviathan was on there, and then someone sent me a link, and I saw it, and there was no Leviathan in there. It's just the shit that's on YouTube.
So it's just the same sort of stuff as In Search of Darkness, but with sci-fi?
It's not in the documentary.
Oh, I know.
It's only on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, the Leviathan thing is only on YouTube in the trailer? Okay. But what I'm talking about is, like, is it just the same as In Search of Darkness, or is it a little bit
It's the
different?
same.
Because I remember hearing stuff. Oh, we're interviewing effects artists and we're doing all this stuff and we're blah blah blah.
I mean, it's kind of the same deal, other than talking about
Yeah.
sci-fi films.
So it's not really much different compared to what they were trying to advertise it. Like they were like, oh, we have Phil Tippett and we have blah 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 and we have so and so.
I think they have them.
Yeah.
But either they're saying stuff you've already seen.
Mm-hmm.
If you've seen, that's the thing. If you know a lot about this stuff, you already know what's in it.
Yeah.
It's kind of in a weird way for casuals, but casuals are not going to pay that much money for it. And the hardcore fans already know or know more than what's in it. So what is it really for?
I mean, there's great horror documentaries out there. I mean, Never Sleep Again is fantastic. Crystal Lake Memories.
Yeah.
Despite the fucking crazy bullshit I had to deal with that fucking thing, but that's still.
To be fair, the Friday Night, You're So Cool Brewster, despite the stuff I deal with those guys,
that was bullshit.
It was well done.
Yeah.
It was pretty well done.
And RoboDoc, whenever it does fucking come out, it's probably going to be awesome. But the thing is, still waiting.
You gotta have to buy both parts.
Yeah, and I'll fucking do it. I will do it. But the Return of the Living Dead documentary, that was good too on those movies.
It's
the
hard
Halloween
to watch that
stuff
now.
because of the fucking guy. Yeah,
the narrator who's in the film. I forget his name. He's a
Peck.
Brian Peck.
Yeah,
he's a P to the E to the D to the O.
Yes, he is.
Which is too bad.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of weird people in Hollywood.
Hellraiser Leviathan, the doc, that was pretty good too. I would say I liked that more than some of the. I mean, I liked other ones more than that one, but that was still pretty good. Some of the stuff they did for the Halloween box set, that was good too.
You know what? I mean, one that was there's a documentary on Heaven's Gate.
Yes. Remember we watched that. We watched that together on Skype.
Yeah, I forget what it was called, but that was a really
Final Cut.
Yes.
It was an A&E documentary, I think, and it was one of those really fascinating documentaries. Cursed Films, Falk, disappointing. Very disappointing. I have the Blu-ray set of Cursed Films Season 1, and it was very disappointing to me. Like the best one was the Twilight Zone one, but that's not really technically a Cursed production, so that really didn't actually really count.
I didn't like that they showed the actual footage.
Yeah.
And the Poltergeist, you better off watching E! True Hollywood Story with someone upload on YouTube.
Definitely.
It's on YouTube.
Somebody put it on YouTube? Oh.
Yeah. I did a reaction, and it's cut into 2 parts, but it's on YouTube right now.
Cool.
The E! True Hollywood Story of Poltergeist. It is up. To someone wanted me to react to it. I'm like, when am I going to see it? Oh, it's right here on YouTube.
He did one on The Exorcist. I remember being pretty good too. They also did one on Jaws. Speaking of Jaws, the shark is still not working, or the shark is still working. What was that called?
Shark is still working. The shark is still working.
I remember reading about the fact that there's a longer version of that talks about the sequels, talks about the legacy of the franchise. And it actually was shown at festivals and stuff. And I was under the impression, and Matt was under the impression, that we would get like the full documentary when the Jaws Blu-ray came out. And that's another one we still don't have. Like, where the fuck is that footage? It got eaten?
I wish I knew.
Because maybe they just thought nobody cares?
I think so. I think that's the assumption. That's the assumption, sadly.
Speaking of 10 years ago, you got a donation from a guy named Optimo Sapien.
Oh, thank you.
Found both of us 10 years ago. Yeah.
Thank you, Optimo Sapien. Thank you.
We've been doing this for a while.
Exactly. But thank you for hanging in there, Optimo. I appreciate everyone out there
Yeah.
who's watching. Thank you so much.
Yeah, JW, the Pet Cemetery documentary, that was pretty good too.
Was it Unearthed?
Yeah, Unearthed, yeah. The Untold Story of Pet Cemetery. I have that one on Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
The Alien documentaries on the box set, like those are high quality too.
Yeah, those are good. Those were good Blu-ray. It was a good Blu-ray set. Been trying to think.
I'm surprised they haven't done a Child's Play like hour-long documentary in the vein of, Crystal Lake Memories or
like the whole franchise, yeah.
Yeah, the whole franchise. I'm surprised they haven't done one.
Yeah, I mean, with the new TV shows, now season 2, I'm surprised someone hasn't done it. But then you have those 4Ks of 2 and 3 coming out next month,
Which I did
believe.
pre-order. I pre-ordered those. I'll looking forward to them because I just have the bare bones Blu-rays of the other two. Child's Play 2 and 3.
Yeah, I've seen the Slice and Dice. It was average.
Yeah.
Yeah, average at that.
Matt, what did you think about Halloween 25 Years of Terror? What were your thoughts on that one?
When I first saw it, I liked it because there was really nothing out there about it. I could watch it, but I mean, a newer one would be nice. But I guess if you did the Halloween box set, you would just watch. Like, there's a lengthy on 5 and 6 and 7.
Yeah.
Like, they have lengthy ones there, so technically you just watch them. And Halloween 2 and 3, like, each one. Is there one that doesn't have a lengthy one? I guess Resurrection.
Yeah.
The first 7, pretty much, each one has lengthy, like, making ofs and stuff in it. So, I guess that if you have the box set, you got it. But you have that book, right? Was it a Halloween book?
Yeah, I have one of them. That one I've been disappointed by, to be honest.
Oh, really? What was it?
Let me. I'll go grab. I'll grab it real quick. Be back.
Sure. But anyone out there, sorry if I missed you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. Yes, Of Unknown Origin is very underrated. Love that Peter Weller film. But yeah, I hope you all doing well.
The most use I've gotten out of this, to be honest, after I stopped reading it halfway through, was killing a big ass fucking spider with it. But yeah, taking shape. I'm more interested in the sequel the guy did, talking about the unmade sequels. I still haven't gotten the book yet, but I'm more interested in that one. Taking Shape was disappointing because it was a lot of shit that you've already. If you're a Halloween fan and you've seen the documentaries, you've seen the interviews, there's not much new, which I guess could be technically to be expected. But there's a lot of other stuff where it's just a long, lengthy recap of the movie. I hate that shit. I don't need you to recap the plot. Don't fucking need that.
Well, especially with those movies when people are buying it, they know the Halloween films.
Yeah.
Like, they know. It's one thing if it's an unknown film, like if you're talking about The Kindred, and you want to talk a little bit about the plot and this is what it's about, and then you go into it, okay. But it's a Halloween book. People know what the Halloween films are about.
And there's some interviews with the some screenwriters and some other people, and it's not completely worthless, but I don't know. I just thought it was just not that interesting. I haven't even finished it yet. I got more. I got more extra stuff from the Hellraiser book that I've had for a long time, which has some boring essays in it, but it has some like extra juicy stuff that I don't remember. I do not actually remember seeing anywhere else. Like some really in-depth stuff about Bloodline and the involvement with the producers and fucking Joe Chappelle and how much of a fucking moron he is.
I've heard that. I've heard about him. Yeah, I've heard he's that way.
That book is called Hellraiser: The Films and Their Legacy, and that one's actually pretty affordable. The Phantasm book, Phantasm Exhumed, that's another good one. That's a good one. That's a good book.
So it's
Of
better than the
course,
A to Z action films.
yes, fucking book. I swear, I think the fucking author. I don't know if he left a comment or something, or somebody left a somebody. I'm trying to remember if the author did, or maybe I had a fever dream or something about that. But I don't know. Part of me's telling me that the fucking author left a comment. It's kind of being a dick. I'm like, your book sucks.
That book does suck.
Yeah, he's not. I guess no, that's not it. The same author is doing this makeup effects book that I pre-ordered, which has me leery about it because it's the same fucking guy who wrote Action A to Z. But Howard Berger is also one of the writers, so there's a co-writer there. So maybe that, because it's really his project.
Gotcha.
So
So
I'm
maybe
hoping,
that would help.
yeah, that's what it was. I have had some people give me shit. Like I did a review of that movie Blood Games from like the 80s, which sucked. It's lame, and the star of it was like being a bitch to me, and because it's talking about she's not a good actress, blah blah blah. She's not. She sucks. And she
I
was
guess
being,
so, because she had the time to watch and comment on the video instead of acting.
Yeah, she was being a total bitch about it. But the most memorable thing for me is the one of the co-stars in the Amityville Curse, because this actor who just plowed into me was just being a total fucking douchebag and multiple comments, just being an asshole. And I wish I actually did screenshot and save those comments because they were fucking gold. I was like, "You're a grown ass man. What the fuck are you doing? You're in your 60s. The
I've had
fuck
that
is
throughout the
this
years,
shit?"
yeah. At least they supposedly said they were connected to the films.
Oh yeah, Worth Keeter.
He said that's who he was, the director of these really crappy Jeff Speedman films, like
Yeah.
Wolf Teeter, the Purple People Eater, as I called him. I'm like, your film?
Or the writer of the Thing prequel.
Yeah, this was like back in 2011.
Yeah.
And he wrote a comment saying, I'm like writing this film, and how dare you rant on this trailer? And I'm like, hey, the movie. Listen, I don't even know if the trailer come out. Maybe it's the news.
Yeah.
It's like, this sounds like shit, and I think it's gonna be shit.
Uh-huh.
And guess what? It was shit. So maybe that was karma that became such shit, and the effects were redone CG.
What
that
was it?
Karma.
It was Matthias. Was it Matthias Hedgen or whatever the fuck
that's
his
the
name?
director.
Oh,
that was supposed to be the writer.
Yeah. I know there was also this guy who did some 9/11 with zombies fucking thing.
Oh yeah, which thankfully never got made. I wonder why. Yeah, he had this idea. I'm going to do a 9/11 with zombies, and I read that article. I did a video. It was on, I think, my older channel. I'm like, this is the dumbest idea, and the longest of dumb ideas.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a 9/11 movie, and the survivors become zombies. It is such in poor bad taste. Uwe Boll wouldn't touch it. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting there going, this is just dog shit. And then he's like, go after your friends. Yeah, and you disappeared to thin fucking air, and your movie didn't get made. Just people actually grew a brain cell and said, you know what? Maybe a 9/11 with zombies wouldn't be a fucking good idea. I could have fucking told you that. Oh, I did fucking tell you that. You stupid brain dead bitch. I'm sorry if the steel plates in your fucking ass crawled up into your brain and settled in there. Maybe got the brain cells going, and you got the fuck out of Hollywood or where the hell you went to. Sorry. Get your head in the fucking toilet, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ. 9/11 with zombies is a dumb fucking idea, and anybody with the brain would have said it was a dumb fucking idea. Anyway, just saying.
That's what happens when you're on YouTube. You put yourself out there,
Like the dumbest video so far is I reviewed something called Confessions of a Time Traveler from
Uh-huh.
3036.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be this fake documentary that this guy's a time traveler from 3036.
Mm-hmm.
You would not believe how many people have thought that movie was real or are mad at me for making fun of how bad it is.
What?
If you guys look at that, I don't know if those
You got a
comments are
bunch of
still
fucking
up.
you got a bunch of conspiracy, theorists,
Consistently.
flat
Consistent
earthers,
month
that kind
after
of
month,
shit.
week after week, month after month, there were people, oh, well, you just simple minded that you don't believe in this and how, well, I'm like, these people think this is real. This badly acted $3 thing. They think this is really a time travel from 3036, and they're calling me the moron for it.
People are
That that's
fucking
been
nuts.
the most insane fucking thing. And if people in the chat can explain that to me, feel free. How the
Hey,
fuck people could believe that? Please do.
hey, Matt. It's probably it's probably the same people that were interviewed in room 237.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. Right.
I still remember that commentary we did, like just
It's still up. That
discussion on
company's
that
still up.
thing years ago, and just like as we kept going, it was like we actually started to, for a brief moment, go insane just talking about that fucking documentary.
I burp because of that. Yeah, if you want to see a bunch of people be insane, go watch Room 237.
Yeah,
Oh
AB,
my
I don't
god.
know. Here's what's going on in terms of everybody loving Prey. It's all people in the media, people who are at Comic-Con, people who have connections. Nowadays, since when do you ever hear these people say anything negative about these kind of things when it comes to like the first reactions? Unless it's something that pretty much everybody's gonna expect is gonna be terrible. Like, oh my god, I saw the new Neil Breen movie and it was terrible. Like, yeah, okay. Not shocking.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
Total Meltdown. Yeah, that's a good one. Why do people say you don't like deep films because you don't like A24?
yeah, because they're pretentious dog shit. But we get to AB with Nope. I'm a little bit more curious because people have said it's just very straightforward,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no like message pretentiousness to it. So that actually makes me curious if he's doing that, and is that another? I like Get Out, but to just repeat that, if he's not doing that, it's just a straightforward alien movie with bit. It looks like comedy as well. That could be interesting. Nope. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, hearing that makes me interested in Nope. That it's not a straight, pretentious message movie. Okay, if that's the case, maybe. I don't know what you
Yeah,
think of Nope.
I mean, I would be interested in it if it is something like that as well, because
I've heard
Jordan
it's not.
Peele visually, when it comes to his filmmaking style and his ability, like he's very talented. It's just when it comes to a lot of the political, identity politics and stuff like that. That's just something that's become really, really obnoxious, to be perfectly honest, or in a lot of different things. And Us, I think, was just pretty heavy-handed. And not only it wasn't just the political stuff in that movie, it was just a lot of the other writing. I mean, the fucking ending, we're gonna hold hands across America.
Yeah,
Fuck was that shit?
yeah. He's saying reviews say it's not heavy-handed like Us and Get Out. That would be
Good.
refreshing.
And I never really saw Get Out as being too heavy-handed anyway. Like it had its moments, but it didn't seem like it was just beating me over the head with it. Yeah, Us is just fucking confusing. And then on top of that, the twist I saw coming a mile away. It's another one just like Upgrade, where I'm like, don't do this. I'm in the theater and I'm watching the movie with a friend of mine, and I'm like, please don't. I'm begging you, don't pull this switcheroo bullshit twist. Like, nope, we are going to do it. And I'm like, God damn.
Oh, I did. Someone told me about Prey. I
Oh
guess
yeah, the
potential
gun.
spoiler.
The
Yeah,
gun. Yeah.
yeah. You beat me to it. So she gets the gun,
That just sounds dumb.
but then
Especially here's the
how
spoiler.
does the but how does the Predator then get the gun to give the Danny Glover?
I don't know. I have no idea. And also at the same time, if the spoiler is true, is that she kills the Predator with the gun.
With that
that's
gun from
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous. That would be fucking bullshit.
is that gun that powerful to kill a Predator?
No.
Danny Glover shot it like 8 times with a shotgun, point
I
blank range, and
know.
went down.
It's like an old musket.
I pulled up what they said about Prey. I wanted to repeat it. These fucking. This is what people say about Prey, people. Let's go through each one. Received a roaring stand ovation from the fans during the San Diego screening. Yeah, where they had a party and they got their popcorn, their soda, and they got their fucking.
I wouldn't be surprised with that beer too, knowing how things are now, where people are able to, drink when they're watching movies.
Easily the best since the original, knocked it out of the park. I think this is the guy that does those reactions, where all the reactions, like. Real Rejects. Yeah, that's Real Rejects. Exactly. That's the guy I was thinking of. Does every reaction to a movie is like.
You gotta do it, Matt, though, for the algorithm, and so you get views. Because if you don't do it, you don't get views.
Well, I mean, hell, PewDiePie has a lot of subs. Doesn't mean I like. Or Logan Paul. Logan Paul has. I was pick on Logan Paul. Logan Paul has a lot of subs. Doesn't mean he's worth a shit. He's a guy that showed a dead fucking body.
I mean, people that are worth something on the platform have a lot of, like Markiplier. I think he's I haven't watched as much of his stuff as I did, in the past, but he seems to still be a pretty nice guy, a pretty humble guy. And I saw his In Space series, which is really cool. I don't know if you checked that out yet or not, Matt. Markiplier in
Which
Space. Markiplier's In Space. I think you'd really like that, actually. It's a video series where it's a choose your own adventure thing, where you can like click on right or left, and you go a different direction, and it takes the story into a different path. Yeah, it's really creative stuff.
Oh. Let me ask a serious question about this Prey thing, if it's okay.
That's fine.
Do you think, and this is for people in the chat as well, that the reason they're saying very, very positive things... Now, yeah, there are people who generally don't like it. We all have different preferences. But do you think some of them, they feel they would be they'd be called racist and sexist? Because it's Native American and it's a lady.
I do feel there's a little bit of that, for sure. Look what happened with the review. Like when Ghostbusters 2016 came out, you had a lot of these reviews that were supposedly positive, but then like if you actually read the review, it seemed like the person reviewing the movie didn't think it was that great of a film. But was giving it a pass and was not really going that hard on it because it starred a female cast. It was like being like, oh yay, women, women can be funny, that kind of thing. And
they would be afraid of that. Not all, but a lot of people would be afraid of. This is a Native American story, Native American lead. If I say it, it'll be called racist. And then it stars you don't like it because it stars a lady. You got that when you first reviewed, and you had to take it down.
Yeah, I got so much shit.
Explain to people what happened.
So I did a
So approve it.
I did a rant video on the trailer, and it was just typical sort of just fun, over the top for entertainment's sake kind of
You're being
ranting,
honest though.
being honest. And there were some things that I probably said in a way where I could have honestly done it better, but a lot of people just zeroed in with a laser focus and just started taking shot after me, and doing all the just basically just freaking the fuck out that I didn't love the trailer, and throwing out the sexist stuff and all this other shit. And I eventually just deleted the first video because I'm like, I don't want to fucking deal with that shit blowing up my goddamn feed. So I did a new take on it, and that's the one that I have up, and I didn't get any of the same shit for it.
But when you released the first one, that's when it was like right when
Yeah.
the trailer was out and people were looking for the trailer.
Yeah.
And then if that was just for the trailer, if you're talking about the movie, then yeah, you're going to be called racist and sexist because that just...
Yeah. That's what's going to happen with Wakanda Forever. It happened with Black Panther.
Yeah.
It's an important movie, and it broke new ground. And I'm like, I don't know, the Meteor Man exists, but okay.
Let me ask you a question. Why is it that if you think a movie will suck, but then the people who already say it's going to be a 10 out of 10 best movie ever, that's fine. That's fine if you say, this is majestic. You haven't seen the film yet. Yeah, but I already know it's the best movie ever. But you haven't seen it yet. But I know.
Yeah, you see a lot of that stuff where they'll be like, "Oh, you can't judge the film yet because you haven't seen the movie." But they do. They do it in the opposite way.
They say this will be the best movie ever, and it's fine.
I had some guy actually.
The movie.
He was talking about. He was giving me all kinds of shit for the Munsters of all things. He was just like, those who teach or do or whatever, like those who do teach, or like, what have you done? That stupid argument. Like, what have you done? Like, what films have you made?
You've entertained people on YouTube. That's why you have over 10.
It's like, what films have I made? That doesn't have to do with anything. That has nothing to do with any sort of reasoning for anyone to have an opinion on this trailer.
You've entertained people on YouTube. So what has that guy done?
Nothing. That's another thing. All these people, like, no videos. And if they do make videos, they suck ass. I know those who can't do teach is the expression, but I've always felt that expression is just erroneous in the first place, because that's kind of it's kind of a slap in the face to teachers, and I don't think that's really fair, because there's a lot of teachers who actually can do a lot of the things. Like, for example, what about a guy who's teaching woodshop? Like, he knows what he's doing. Or the people who are teaching digital technology and culture. Yeah. You've never made one. Whatever, man. Exactly. It's so dumb. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
I've seen Mike's films on the vault. How's it going, Fabio? Great guy in here. They're in the vault. Exactly. They're in the Disney vault.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, fuck Prey.
Yeah, that whole argument. Here's the problem with it. If you go to a restaurant and you eat a meal there, and the meal sucks, are you not allowed to criticize the meal because you don't know how to cook it?
You are. You are allowed. People do all the time.
That's what I'm saying. But for some reason, people have this dumb argument of like, oh, you can't say anything because you don't make movies.
Well, no, it's whatever fits that helps in their situation, no matter how hypocritical or double standard it is. They rework it to fit their own narrative. Like, I had a guy talk about my Clerks 3 video. I still think that movie looks like shit.
Yeah, I saw a few comments on there before they disappeared.
And they're like, well, how did he word it? You're negative, Nelly. That was one. And the other goes, what positive things have you done? What if you died today? I'm like, If I died today, I didn't make a shitty movie like Clerks 3. That's what happened. I'm also like, well, you know what? I entertained a few people, made a few people laugh. What the fuck have you done other than have a finger up your Hershey Highway and drink it like it's alcohol poisoning? Shut the
Yeah.
fuck up. Curse 3 sucks. Kim Smith sucks. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Just like Prey sucks. And sorry, I don't buy people, it's the best, it's better than the first one. You already lost me. Sorry. If you shit on Predator 2, you lost me. If you say he's better than the first one, you lost me. I think there's a lot of people, not all, but a lot of people, like I said before, I'll say it again, they want to be nice because if they're not, they're going to be called racist and sexist because of the Native American lead lady.
Yeah.
And yes, maybe there's people who generally like it. Maybe there's going to be some positive parts to it. But it's also kind of funny that it's so good and went to Hulu.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, if it was so great and so amazing, like it would have gotten a theatrical release. Hands down.
Yeah, so fucking fantastic.
I mean, it's not one of those things where Bright didn't get a theatrical release because it got bought out, or there was some issue involving the company that made it, and they couldn't release it to make enough profit, so it got bought by Netflix. It's not that kind of thing. They easily could have released it. But yeah, Fabio actually had a really good point here. He was just like, these idiots believe everyone has an opinion unless it's different from theirs.
I see it.
Yep. Nailed it. Totally.
Exactly. I think that's what I wrote with them. I'm like, so, how do I put it? You want to talk positive. You say you should always be positive. This is under my Clerks 3 video. You say you should always be positive. But then you also say it's okay we have different opinions. I'm like, no, it's not. If it's negative, you don't care for different opinions. So I think there's a lot of people, I said it, there's a lot of people who are hypocrites.
Yeah.
I mean, I maintain every single person on earth is a hypocrite in some way. Because
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we've done some things where we backtracked or flip-flopped, and it's just a natural human nature kind of thing.
I think that is a human nature thing, and there's some people who think that's so. It's like people who feel like they don't have a skeleton in their closet, but you open it, it's an entire goddamn cemetery.
Yeah,
so it's like you have an entire fucking cemetery in there.
It's like some of the people I've covered, for my other podcast called Uncovering Unexplained Mysteries, and we've covered a lot of true crime stuff, and you cover the religious guy from like Jesus Camp, who's all talking about, all this stuff about homosexuals. And then you find out, like, oh, he got busted with a dude in a hotel room, and he was having sex with him and doing cocaine. Like, okay, all right, and he's doing all this shit where he's bad-mouthing and bemoaning and saying, all this shit is wrong, but here he is doing it. It's like Jimmy Swaggart, and he's like, God, I've sinned against you. Like, it's just this fucking ridiculous shit.
That happens a lot. It's like a lot of these people in Hollywood that they prop this agenda, but then they're worse and worse off than the people that they're putting down. Yeah, I mean, I maintain everybody's a hypocrite. It's just there's people that know and people who don't, and there's bigger ones and there's lesser ones.
Yeah, definitely.
Just how it is.
Yeah, those who have a glass house shouldn't cast stones. Yep.
Exactly. I don't even forget. Prey's like in August?
Yeah, August.
Oh shit, I was going to what the hell people were saying. Because I was going to, I forgot. Because this is what people were saying. This is just, it's such big hyperbole, and I find it funny that not a single person says something negative. I think that's a bit
kind of like it's almost seems it's not necessarily quite as defensive as something like the reaction and the reviews of Ghostbusters 2016, where you had like bold quotes saying like women can be funny, deal with it. You remember that fucking bullshit, Matt?
Yeah, I mean they weren't funny in that movie though.
No. No.
I mean,
Yeah, we know women can be funny. You know, Whoopi Goldberg and Jumpin' Jack Flash, hilarious. She was funnier than any single woman in Ghostbusters 2016.
you watch that movie, you go, "Are you sure women can be funny?" This is how they are. I mean, that's how bad the film is. It questions, "Are you
Yeah,
sure
you're like,
women can be
pussy
funny?"
farts? Really? Is that ghost queefs?
Like, are you sure? Are you positive?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
JW. Oh, you want to write a negative review? Try it and you're canceled, bro. Oh yeah, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I still can't
okay.
believe that's an actual scene in that goddamn movie, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And at the same time, that movie's not a parody or a satire of slashers by any means. It's just a random fucking scene that's just trying to be satirical and it makes no goddamn sense.
So I got the. I'll go through each one of these. It's cool. People love it. Okay, loved it. Badass. It's going to make Amber Mid-Thunder a star. The best Predator lead since Schwarzenegger. So I just
I forgot
fucking
that
love
one.
her.
I forgot that one. There's no fucking way that Amber Midthunder is going to be better than Danny fucking Glover as Harrigan in Predator 2.
Here's another one. I honestly think it might be the best Predator movie. Not just the first movie, just the best period. As compelling characters, the lead is a revelation. It's Predator broken down to his core elements and rebuilt better.
The
So
lead
better
is a
than the first.
revelation. That's a buzzword. Built better. Another buzzword.
Last thing I heard Revelation was that Masters Universe cartoon. That was irrelevant, yeah.
Or Hellraiser Revelation. Wasn't that a Hellraiser movie, Matt? Revelation? I think.
Yeah, I forgot about that, yeah. I think it was the worst one. Oh, here's one. It's a sequel the Predator franchise needed and manages to stand on its own. I love Amber Midthunder. So happy.
Yeah, it needs it. It needs this sequel because the franchise is not woke enough. Except
It's
we
back,
had the
yeah.
Predator where they tried to make autism into a goddamn mutant power, but okay.
How's this for hyperbole? It's back and better than ever. This surpasses the original. It's not just another Predator film. It's one of the best action horror films ever made. Mike, a film that went straight to Hulu, is one of the best action horror films ever. It's up there with Aliens.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It's one of the best ever. Ghostbusters Afterlife is one of the best comedies ever, Mike.
No.
Oh. Star Wars Last Jedi is one of the best films ever.
No.
Ever.
No.
Ever, Mike. Ever.
No. It's like Alien 3. It's so underrated, Matt. Alien 3 is the most underrated film of all time.
Yeah. Yeah, and the movie could be under my balls and licking it. The movie kicks so much ass, a terrific crowd pleaser, and kills will make action Twitter lose their shit. What the fuck does that mean, action Twitter?
I don't know what Action Twitter is. I'm glad I don't know what. Hey, Fabio, do you know what Action Twitter is?
He's like,
By the way, Fabio, great joke there. Arnold was woke the whole time in Predator. He wasn't gonna let the Predator catch him sleeping.
Again, it's funny. Not a single negative. That's strange. That's interesting. Mm-hmm. And I'm a huge fan of the original.
What's next? Are they gonna say stuff like it deserves an Oscar?
Well, I'm not done with this page yet, so we'll see. Prey goes to toe-to-toe with the original film that started it all. It's that good. No Oscar talk yet, but I don't know. Maybe it's a different page. Fucking
Yeah,
duh.
like Black Panther. That deserved an Oscar. Like, no, it didn't. That movie did not deserve an Oscar nomination, let alone the Oscar at all.
The director did Ted Cloverfield. That wasn't even that good. 10 Cloverfield Lane
No.
wasn't even that great. I saw
Does
the fucking
anybody in this
film.
chat even fucking remember that movie?
I barely remember, and I saw the film. John Goodman was cool.
Here's what I remember about 10 Cloverfield Lane, that there are like 50 million goddamn copies of it at my Big Lots or at like the Dollar Tree or some shit. That's what I fucking remember about 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Is it the worst
Right up
movie
there
ever?
with
No, but
RoboCop, where they have
yeah, I
so
don't.
many
Yeah,
goddamn copies, they can't get rid of them. I bet they had to throw those away. And that's fitting. That's so fitting, because I went to Big Lots recently, and they don't have any of those available anymore. Probably nobody bought them. Like, nobody wants
maybe.
this RoboCop. Nobody wants to buy RoboCop even for $1.88. Like, they
Well,
were
maybe
actually clearanced. They were marked down, and people were like, "I don't want to buy that for $1."
maybe it was buy one get five free or something. You could have bought them and burned them on camera for a video. That'd be a way.
Should dump those
And
copies of RoboCop into the desert like they did with ET
let me
on
ask
the
people in the
Atari
chat:
2600.
is there anyone in the chat looking forward to Prey? And if so, why? And if not, why? Please feel free in the chat. If you look forward to Prey, cool. I won't judge you. Feel free to let me know why. If not, feel free to let us know
Yeah.
why.
Meadowland, I've not seen Stir of Echoes 2. I didn't know that had Rob Lowe in it. Interesting.
Yeah, it does. It's not that good. I don't see how Predator is going to be with all those weapons as against a woman. Well, I mean, apparently it gets the weapon from Predator 2 and just shoots it.
Well, I mean,
She shoots it with it.
I hear a lot of people say, "Well, Arnold defeated the Predator with a tree in the first movie." Like, actually, he didn't actually kill the Predator. Like, he killed the Predator with he didn't actually kill the Predator. The Predator killed itself with a bomb.
Yeah, that's true. Not me. Looking curious. I'm not looking forward to it. Nope. Predator ended after the second film. Yeah, exactly.
I guess I'll see it, but I don't have high hopes. JW, that's me. It's like, I guess I'll see it, but
But folks,
I don't have high hopes.
we've been told it's one of the best action horror films ever.
No fucking way.
How do you not look forward to it? People in chat. I just got told by someone by Twitter it's one of the best action horror films ever. It's better than the first. Are you not that excited? Are you not entertained? Is Russell Crowe not gonna come out and sing a song and dance like South Park and beat people up? Like, I mean, you're not excited. Someone on Twitter said it's one of the best action horror films ever. You're not. It's better than the first. Multiple people have said it. You're not looking forward to it. Why?
Are they going to say Predator? Are they going to say Prey is better than Predator 2 because it's in the jungle again, or it's in the woods?
Yeah, it's not the general, but
Because that's
it's better
still one of the
stars.
dumb. There's some absolutely asinine arguments that people have as to why Predator 2 sucks. It doesn't star Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay.
So what? So
It
what?
doesn't take place in the jungle again. Because we've actually seen that numerous times. Predator 2 sucks because it doesn't take place in the jungle again.
So you didn't want. It's not the same exact movie, and that's a bad thing.
Or it sucks because Danny Glover sucks. That's another one that I've seen. And he's out of shape. Remember that one? He's out of shape. Danny Glover was out of shape in Predator 2.
Because he wasn't doing backflips and parkour. I didn't know he had to do that as a cop. He's playing a police officer. He's not playing one of the guys in District B13.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
There was one comment here. Yeah, the Munsters trailer. Yeah, Rob Zombie. Yeah, he had a had a bit of a fit on Twitter himself and on Facebook where he's all like, I don't know what the hell people were talking about when it comes to the budget for this movie being 40 million.
Well, I want to comment that. Yeah, exactly. He was in 3 shitty Terminator sequels in Expendables 3.
Mm-hmm.
And Rob Zombie, what was the exact quote?
So he said, I can look it up here.
Yeah.
It's actually on the Facebook group here. Rob
Yeah,
Zombie.
that grizzly bear and that looked like shit as well in that trailer.
Didn't look as bad as Bear though, right?
No, but I would hope for better in a Predator movie. Like, goddamn. And the Monsters trailer gave me AIDS. That's how bad it fucking was.
They put out a second trailer as well.
I saw it, and it's like, let's rip off shit from Creepshow.
I know. Yeah, I was like, what the hell is this? I was like, hey, Creepshow wants its art direction back.
It still looks cheap as fuck. Yeah. It looks like a fan film. It looks like a fucking fan film that Rob Zombie did. Someone could do that same type for YouTube. Not even exaggerating.
This is Rob's post. How the hell did everyone get the idea that the monsters cost $40 million? Fuck, I wish I had that kind of budget. To put a little perspective on it all, if you add up the budgets of Halloween 2, The Lords of Salem, 31, 3 from Hell, and the Monsters all together, it wouldn't even add up to $30 million. Also, the movie was never going to be going to theaters or Peacock or Paramount. It was always being made for Netflix, which is fine, since it's the largest of the streaming services. This was done way before I ever got involved in the project. I have no control or say over this type of stuff. This is a Universal deal. So it was never going to go to Peacock. I know you're the one directing it, Rob, but I don't quite buy that since Peacock is a Universal company. You know? It's their streaming service. They kind of need content. Speaking of Peacock, though, I would recommend checking out Changeling. That was a pretty cool. I've only seen the first episode, but it was pretty damn good, I thought.
I thought this Monsters thing. So back up what he was saying. It was being made already, and then he joined.
Well, it was never going to theaters or Peacock or Paramount. It was always being made for Netflix. This was done way before I ever got involved in the project. So I guess
fucking Rob Zombie made me drop my damn phone. That's how stupid he is.
So he wasn't involved with it from the start, I guess. Maybe some other people were involved with it. He was like, I have no control or say over this type of stuff. This is a Universal deal. But the internet loves to invent rumors, which somehow turns to facts, so the fans can get all bent out of shape. Typos happen, but I don't know. I mean, you're Rob Zombie. You're kind of professional. I don't. Maybe not spell bent properly, but okay.
It looked like that shit, dude.
None of this actually matters, but thought you might like the real story. But okay, all right, yeah. It didn't cost $40 million. So fucking what? It doesn't look like it cost $10 million, which is the rumored budget.
It doesn't look like it cost $4.
No.
It looks like a YouTube video.
Yeah.
With a couple of shots stolen from Creepshow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much fucking money they have, but it doesn't look like much of shit.
I don't blame Rob for trying to clarify some things, but I don't know. I just think the way that he did it just came across like he's just kind of being butthurt.
It should be butthurt. It was shit.
Yeah.
He should be.
And he's supposed to be this huge. He's supposed to be this huge fan of the show too, and it just didn't look like it captured the spirit of the show at all. Maybe it's just a trailer. I don't know.
That's why I'm surprised. Like he didn't start off on this, since he was such a big fan of it, and then it's funny. Like the trailer is like, it hasn't even out. It's not even out yet. But go buy the DVD and Blu-ray.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not even out yet, and it looks like shit. Why the fuck am I gonna buy the Blu-ray? No one's even seen it yet.
Someone left a comment on one of the trailers that just summed it up so good. Looks like one of those like made-for-TV movies on Fox Kids from the 90s. I'm like, yeah. like the new Adams Family or Adams Family Reunion or some shit.
But
But I
those would
don't
be
have
better.
Tim. But I don't have
They,
Tim Curry.
those would be better written than this one, though.
Yeah. And Rob Zombie's wife is still in the goddamn movie. She can't act at all. Yeah, Total
No,
Meltdown. He should stop putting his skanky ass wife in every one of his movies.
it's weird how the Blu-rays for a lot of these are announced before they even come out because they're desperate to make money, and then I guess they're hoping Rob Zombie fans who collect everything will just buy it. Maybe you need to do Rob Zombie thing. Go buy it. It's like there's fans of Kevin Smith that buy everything. There's fans of these people that just buy everything to collect it.
I think I
And
saw
it's
somebody say something that was rather poignant. They were talking about how like they're fans of a product. They're not necessarily, it's like the Red Letter Media clip that's shared. Like, go buy more, see new thing, and go buy new product.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true.
That's
Yeah, I
definitely the
mean,
case with Marvel. I mean, it's a cult. I swear to God, it's a fucking cult now with the MCU.
yeah. I mean, there are a section that feel they can do no wrong no matter what,
I saw one guy
and
say in a post like, the MCU will go on forever.
that's depressing.
I know.
That's depressing to be honest. I mean,
We'll be in our 70s. We're like, what
how
phase?
many?
It's phase 50. Phase 50 of the
But let's be
Marvel
honest, like, how
Cinematic
many?
Universe.
I know there's a lot of Marvel characters, but how many more can you actually bring out that anyone's going to care an iota about?
I
Like,
know.
can you sincerely think of
No.
characters that
They're
like,
gonna
hey, I
have
want to see.
they're gonna have to reboot everything. They're gonna have to redo. They're gonna have to do reboots, start over like numerous times. It's funny. I made a write up. Like I wrote something when I was in high school, and I was talking about it was like some fictional thing about movies that would come out like decades from now in the future. Like a really late Rambo sequel or um Citizen Kane remake or a film about microchip, a film about Darkhawk from a I think it's called the New Warriors or some shit, some comic book
Yeah, I remember
Darkhawk.
Dark Hawk. He looks
Yeah,
cool. I mean,
yeah. But what I'm saying is that's what the desperation would get to the point where, and that was I was a satirical piece. I was writing a satire about like, oh, now we got Darkhawk, this lesser known small character from Marvel that barely anyone fucking remembers. Now he has his own movie. Like that's the kind of shit that I could actually see happening. Fucking Darkhawk movie.
well,
Right.
actually, James McAvoy eyed to play Marvel superhero Dark Hawk. I just saw this first thing here. April 2022, Dark Hawk plan for Guardians of the Galaxy. What the hell is this?
3.
Maybe it's a comic book. Yeah. No, January 10, 2022. James McAvoy is being looked at to play Dark Hawk in the MCU.
I'm sorry. That's fucking hilarious. I wrote that in like 2007.
What was that you were saying about being desperate?
Exactly. Tarkov.
You said that about being desperate, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You are psychic.
And people give shit to stuff like Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls to this day. Like, and I don't know, it seems a little bit more unique and interesting than all of his other Marvel shit. And I agree, Total Meltdown too. Yeah, fuck Nuke the Fridge. It was that site sucked. That was such bullshit. I hate that argument people gave about Crystal Skull. Oh, it sucks because it's unrealistic. It's a goddamn Indiana Jones franchise. You can't rip people's hearts out of their chests. There's no Ark of the Covenant with fucking ghosts that melt people's faces popping out of it. There's no magic stones.
No, there's no knights waiting in caves with the Holy Grail that I know about. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's somewhere in Disney vault or something. Speaking
of Disney, I've been hearing some crazy shit about Disney, about their parks, about how like people are like getting wild and crazy and getting banned.
What are the details of that?
Like people like getting into some kind of like getting too drunk or too rowdy or some shit. Remember correctly?
Really?
Or like kicking people out just because of what they're wearing, which is a little controversial. That's for goddamn sure.
Yeah. Fuck Disney.
Disney Vault has a Mickey and Minnie sex tape.
Sex tape? Probably better than fucking Captain Marvel. What was the thing they said? Like Walt Disney, like they took away his voice in one of the attractions because Walt Disney is too evil or something. What the hell they said?
Little Meltdown 2. Yeah. Since when did the Indiana Jones movies become documentaries? They're fantasy. Exactly. 100 goddamn %. Too not realistic. He couldn't survive a nuclear explosion in a fridge. Duh. It's a movie.
Yeah.
Or the shit where they're like, it sucks because it's aliens. And the artifact is an alien artifact, and it's not, the Shroud of Turin or the fucking Spear of Destiny or some other religious thing. Like, well, that would just be the same shit. We already got that, and like Holy Grail and so on. That being said, I mean, Indy 5 is probably going to suck dick. Wrinkly old dick.
I forgot. Yeah, I forgot about Harrison Ford. I love the guy. He's 80 years old. Guys, I don't know why people want to see an 80-year-old Indiana Jones. Why? Like, someone
Looking forward to the wheelchair chase scene in Indy 5.
Please, someone tell me. People who want to say I'm a hater and being mean and whatever. Why does anyone want to see an 80-year-old Indiana Jones? And I love all 4 Indiana Jones, but why do you want to see an 80-year-old Indiana Jones? Why? Are people that desperate? Like, I'm being sincere. Are people that desperate?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I'm worried that it's not really going to be, the problem's not going to be that Harris is too old. The problem is going to be the writing, and the problem is going to be some bullshit with fucking Kathleen Kennedy, where we need to make Indy female now. The Force is female. Let's have this new character played by Phoebe Waller-Bridge. She's going to take the mantle. That's what I'm worried about more than old Indy.
It says something when Spielberg isn't even coming back to direct. Even he's like, I'm not directing this. Kathleen Kennedy, she's had a great track record as of late. And I popped up to 2023, just curiosity.
Yeah.
And first,
what we got?
You know what the first movie that pops up?
What, a Marvel movie?
Kinda. Kraven the Hunter. With Aaron Taylor.
They're actually doing that fucking movie? Like, it's Sony.
January 13th.
Sony,
January 13th.
Morbius was horrible. It's more well known for its memes than anything else. Nobody, I can't even think of a single person that actually liked Morbius, other than Doug Walker in his review saying it's actually okay. It's not that bad. I'm like, okay, Morbius is not okay. It's not even an average film. Come on.
I didn't even see Morbius, but I
I'm
believe it.
surprised people haven't requested that yet. Someone's gonna do it because it's Morbin time, Matt. It's a Morbin time.
Morbin time.
Yeah, that's the meme.
Oh,
They had
okay.
this. The people are just going like it's Morbin time.
And Aaron Taylor
Sony
Johnson and
bought into it.
Russell Crowe
They
are in
bought
it.
into the meme culture so much that they,
They re-released it. Yeah, I
they
know they
re-released
re-released the
it.
film.
So it bombed twice. Yeah, Kraven the Hunter. With Aaron Taylor Johnson. Yeah, because it worked out so great with him as a lead in Godzilla 2014.
Why?
Ward
Why?
Brody.
Why would anyone be interested in a Craven movie though? Like, what is interesting about that?
I don't know. See, Kraven is interesting to me in that one storyline with Spider-Man, where Spider-Man is
Because he's
buried.
hunting Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I don't think Spider-Man's even in this.
No.
So what's Craven with no Spider-Man? Was it like Last Gasp, Robert Patrick? It's a remake of that?
That fucking movie, which has a
And that'll be
Blu-ray
better.
by Vinegar Syndrome. Last gasp.
Really? I didn't know.
Yes. Seriously. Shadow Combat, he's like, don't you care about the animals? Yeah, I care about the animals. I have a cat.
Yeah, they definitely care. I'm sure Craven will be... I'm surprised they didn't make him a vegan. Maybe they will. Maybe that's the twist. He's a vegan. Craven the vegan hunter. I set up the Sinister Six that no one wants.
Yeah.
You know what could have been in the Sinister Six? Spider-Man No Way Home when you had 3 fucking Spider-Man, but no, Doc Ock was a good guy.
You know
and then
what's
Green
also
Goblin
crazy
was in the fight. And
about this whole like Sony Sinister Six trying to do this shit with like Venom and so on?
yeah.
They could have just made the Amazing Spider-Man 3. They could have just fucking done that movie and then had the Sinister Six anyway. But no, they decided to not do that and worked with Disney and did this whole MCU thing. No, Spider-Man can't fucking punch.
Yeah, I mean, I've grown less fond of the newer Spider-Man films. You've been there from the get-go, I think.
Yeah. Like initially I didn't mind Homecoming, and then I saw it again and I was like, this is not that great. Like I like Michael Keaton and I like Tom Holland, but like the action sucks. It's easily some of the weakest in the entire MCU, and the climax is shitty. It's a shitty climax after all that build up and the fight between Spider-Man and Vulture. Most of the time the Vulture's just kicking Spider-Man's ass.
Yeah, that's a film I wanted to be nice to. Like, people think I don't give stuff a fair shot.
Spider-Man can't disturb the birds when he lands.
Yeah, there's still aspects I like, but that's not a movie that holds up in time.
Also, the Shocker is just a fucking guy. I like the Shocker. He's actually one of my favorite, lower tier Marvel villains. Is it just some fucking guy with a Shocker arm who gets defeated by Ned? And I hated that character. Fuck Ned. Could take that Lego Death Star and shove it up his fat ass.
And you know what's crazy about that though? As time went on, I've grown less fond of the Tom Holland ones.
Mm-hmm.
I'd never liked No Way Home.
Yeah.
And the one that I actually grew on me is The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Hey. See, I wasn't crazy.
It has its flaws still.
Absolutely. It's like Batman
but
Forever. it really reminds me of Batman Forever in terms of like certain flaws that it has with writing and with some of the characters.
But the action scenes are better, the music is better, and the love story was better.
Yes. Yep.
And fuck Ned. It didn't have Ned. That was good. Glad. Fuck
And
Ned.
Andrew Garfield did a great job.
Yeah, and I could watch
And
that.
it was building up to the point where he was a man. He was a man.
Yeah. They can't have a man. They ain't no man.
Spider-Boy.
Can't have a man. They ain't no man. You don't want to see a Spider-Man.
Just want to see Spider-Boy. So, what's after Kraven? That's gonna bomb. Who the fuck gives a shit about Kraven the Hunter?
It's films I haven't heard of, but the one Ant-Man 3, Quantumania.
That title is stupid. Quantumania? What the fuck? Quantumania? What is that why Vince McMahon retired? Because he's gonna be in Ant-Man 3. That's why he retired. It's not WrestleMania, it's Quantumania.
Whoa, whoa, Quantumania. Ant-Man gonna be a bitch. What's a hole? What's a hole? What's a hole? Whoa, wasp, you a hoe. Quantumania is here.
Oh yeah, Eric. Madam Web. Matt, do you even know who Madam Web is?
I remember from the Spider-Man cartoon where she kind of sat on a throne and gave cryptic messages to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But like, what's her story? Like, I didn't really know what her story was.
They're doing a Madam Web movie after Kraven.
And people are like, who the fuck is Madam Web? How many people in the chat know who the fuck Madam Web is? We have over 70 people. Who knows who Madam Web is? Fucking hell.
Like Matt, I only remember Madam Web from animated series and like maybe a few comics. Not really that big of a character. Like, what's next? We're gonna get the Tombstone. Tombstone? Is he gonna get his own movie from Sony? The fucking albino motherfucker with the flat top.
It'd be Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, Mickey Rourke, who's like Tom Cruise is a nobody or some shit.
Yeah, some of the people are going, I never even heard of her. Madam Web.
Hammerhead will get his own movie.
Oh my god. Other films, that Elizabeth Banks one, Cocaine Bear.
Yeah,
A black bear goes on a rampage after ingesting a staggering amount of cocaine.
Wouldn't that just kill the bear? The
mean,
bear would just have a heart attack in the first 5 minutes.
They should have Van Damme play the bear and just the bear doing splits. And this is what Van Damme was in the 90s. He was doing cocaine, doing splits. It's like, come on, but he's doing the voice of the bear. See, if you do cocaine, you also sound like Van Damme. So the bear has his voice, come on, do it now, come on.
Talking about black silk underwear.
I used to talk about bison, but it's the actual animal bison. So go kick that bison's ass so hard. This bison underneath is gonna feel it. What's to go in my cave? What's to come in me?
Speaking of like Marvel stuff, like Shadow Combat's mentioned in like Mary Jane Watson movie, like why don't they just do like Spider Girl? Why does they haven't done that? That alternate universe story where like Peter got hurt or something, and then he and Mary Jane had a kid, and it was Spider Girl. I don't know why they haven't done Spider Girl. Oh, they're gonna do Spider Gwen instead. That's why.
Well, that was fine in Into the Spider-Verse, which I liked.
Yeah.
And this the best Spider-Man film in years, in my opinion. I think that's been the best Spider-Man film in a while. Was Into the Spider-Verse. I like that one.
JW's like, Conjuring had the villains have their own spinoff. Sooner or later, the door shutting. Look at this.
By itself, this door shutting by itself will get its own solo movie.
Just a bump in the night. Just the creepy knock on the door that'll get its own solo film.
Oh god, Disney, another film. They're redoing the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, I remember reading about that.
Tiffany Haddish is in it.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. Aquaman 2, with or without Amber Heard, whatever the fuck. Amber Turd. That fucking loser.
The Flash is probably.
They have Stream 6.
Yeah.
Already for March of 2023.
Ghostface Takes Manhattan. Because that's really what it is. It's Ghostface Takes Manhattan.
So, is Dev Campbell in or not? I keep hearing different things.
Yeah, I just keep hearing a little, different stuff. That she's in, she's not. I don't know. We'll find out. Here's the thing.
She's not.
It probably is going to suck. But I have a tiny bit of curiosity for the New York setting. That is taking things into a completely different direction that this franchise had never been in.
But what about it?
Because of the fact that, when it comes to the slasher films like that have had
3, like Stream 3 was in Hollywood, so that was another city.
Yeah, it was in Hollywood, but I don't know. It would be nice to see a good slasher film in New York from a slasher franchise, because you had Jason Takes Manhattan. But that was
Maniac.
Awful. Maniac, yeah. But I don't know.
Maniac Cop.
Yeah.
Maniac Cop 2 especially. With that police station scene.
Mm-hmm.
Maniac Cop 2 is good. Even Maniac Cop 3 I like.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where I'm just curious about them going out of Woodsboro again.
It's not like they don't have Ghostface going in crowd just killing people left and right.
That would be awesome. That would be great. They probably won't, though. Oh yeah, Beverly Hills Cop 4, which is Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. That's what I heard the subtitle is.
Why?
I don't know why. Just call it Beverly Hills Cop 4. Why do we have to have a Axel F?
How about just call it A?
Axel fuck.
Just call it Axe.
That's the porno. That's the porn version of Beverly Hills Cop. Axel fuck.
Just call it Axe. Hey, I want to see Axe.
No, that's Beverly Hills Cock. That's probably a real porno, by the way. I would be shocked if it wasn't.
Fucking Beverly Hills Axe. It's fucking Jesus.
Or yeah, the Evil Dead Rise.
Oh yeah, that's coming like HBO, I think. Where it's like
High Rise.
Sounds like a rip off of Demons 2.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't care. I mean, Evil Dead without Ash, I don't care. I didn't even like the remake. I'm sorry, folks.
Things is planned to run for 8 years? Really?
I thought they said the next season was the last one. I swear they said season 5 was the last one.
Barney the dinosaur movie. Who's asking for a Barney movie nowadays?
I have no idea.
They're doing a Barbie movie with Margot Robbie.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck with that. Let's see, what else we got? The Dungeons and Dragons movie we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
A new Salem's Lot.
Oh, they're just calling it a new Salem's Lot? Or
I mean, it's called Salem's Lot. Let's just say on
They
block.
already did that, the TV movie, the original, and then they did another one with Rob Lowe and Donald Sutherland. Does
Well,
anybody
it was a
remember that
hit.
one?
It and It Chapter 2 were still big
Yeah,
hits, so
huge
they
hits.
don't.
I still haven't seen It Chapter 2. I know about the ending though, and like, god damn it. Whenever I do see that movie, that's gonna be pain.
Yeah, if you want to see
You're
a
just a
Pennywise bait.
clown. You're just a stupid clown.
Yeah, if you want to see a bunch of them make fun of Pennywise, he turns to like a CGI Pennywise clown.
Yeah, fucking baby.
Fucking, he's the baby back ribs. You
Get
got
in my belly.
the the Black Mermaid. I mean the Little Mermaid, and she's black. They might as well call it the Black Mermaid. Why
Yeah.
not? The Mermaid. I did the Little Mermaid. A new one of that.
Mermaid. Mermaid sounds like some kind
The
of fucking
Mermaid.
old ass drug or some shit you would take to help with your indigestion.
It's
Get
the
some
Mermaid. I
Mermaid.
mean, that'd be one of those commercials that they kind of slide in. By the way, this could give you diarrhea and could kill you, but take this and it'll make your
Yep.
headache feel better. It's the Mermaid. Take 2 pills, yellow pills. It's like that Wayne's World thing with the pills. Like, oh look, I forget what those exact words. There's a new Transformers film, Rise of the Beasts.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be Beast Wars.
Michael Bay's not directing it.
Oh yeah, the Super Mario Brothers movie, the animated one, but by Illumination, the folks behind the Minions movies, which I hate fucking Minions. Don't like the
Yeah,
Minions.
a new one came out
The
recently.
Minions are essentially, they're like annoying toddlers with no filter. That's really what the fucking Minions are. There's like a million annoying 5-year-olds who just make stupid noises and fart. Great.
Yeah, I don't know about this Mario movie. I mean, it's from
Chris
the guys
Pratt
who did.
as Mario.
It's from the people that did Teen Titans Go.
Ooh, that's not good. That show is horrible. Ooh. I didn't know it was from the same people.
And Teen Titans Go to the movies.
And people want to give, Rocky Morton and Annabelle Jankel shit for the 93 live action film. Like, I don't know. They've done a lot better shit than Teen Titans Go.
I haven't seen Teen Titans Go. Is it that bad?
It's fucking awful, Matt. It's so annoying. It's irritating. It's like just over the top annoying characters with just crazy expressions and bad jokes, and yeah, it's awful. And I really liked Teen Titans, the original Teen Titans show that used to air on Cartoon Network.
Fucking hell. But yeah, that Mario movie.
The live action, the new Ninja Turtles movie, that one too. Seth Rogen.
Someone said in the chat, just let him die. Just let him die. that's Seth Rogen laugh. Is anyone really thinking that's going to be a good movie? Like, come on, like, let's be serious.
No, they're gonna have Donatello with fucking glasses again and fucking nerd tape, like it's Revenge of the Nerds with the turtles.
And I know people don't go, you're judging it too early, you don't know. I'm basing it on track record. Seth Rogen, the last thing he was really a part of was Santa's Inc. Go watch Santa's Inc. and you'll know my thought process on Seth Rogen in control of something.
No, I'd
rather
watch the inside of my toilet bowl than watch Santa's Inc.
Yeah, you mentioned The Flash, June 23rd. Supposedly, I don't know.
I'm surprised they're even going to do that. Is that even going to come out? Like, I'm like, I don't really know about that.
I think they will. They just don't bank it. The marketing's going to be very Michael Keaton heavy, I would assume.
Oh, yeah.
I would assume it's going to be very Michael, and that's how they'll sell it. You'll see Michael Keaton's Batman in the end in the theater,
and they might do reshoots and just like have more Michael Keaton. they might do that too.
That, or again, it's going to be heavily like posters, marketing, trailers. Like there's going to be a trailer where Michael Keaton's revealed. There's going to be a trailer with a lot more focused Michael Keaton. Maybe there'll be trailer Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck if he's still
that's
in
the
it.
only reason why I even want to even watch that movie, to be honest, is because I'm such a huge Keaton mark. But other than that, yeah, I'm surprised they haven't remade Gremlins. I've heard rumors about it. They've talked about it. They talked about doing another Gremlins. Just didn't really come to be. They're doing an animated prequel series. I know that's supposed to happen.
I heard that Elliot Page might replace Ezra Miller.
No, that's the fans who are trying to get Elliot Page to replace Ezra.
But I thought the Flash is a guy.
Well, Elliot Page is a guy.
Fuck that. No, she's not.
I know.
Blame me, folks. Not Mike. Blame me. I will say it. She's not a fucking guy. Okay? It's fine if you want to... You can do whatever you want. But you're still not a guy. Okay? Like, you're pregnant, you're not pregnant. You're a guy or you're not a guy. You could be anything else also, but... Yeah, she was in Juno playing a pregnant lady. Unless it's Junior with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't think it is. Christ. If she wants to live that, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But then, don't get mad that someone calls you a lady. Because you are. It's like, I'm white. I can fucking do whatever I want, but people don't say it's a white guy. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. It's not a bad thing. Christ. Nothing bad about it. I'll get off it, but so stupid.
Yeah.
There's the Insidious film that Patrick Wilson's directing, as well as starring.
More Insidious movies?
Yeah. In July.
So I guess the last key was not the last key. They found one more key.
It's never the last key with franchises. We know the Mission Impossible Part 1.
You had a Leprechaun prequel, or some shit, right? And then there was like a reboot.
Origins.
Yeah.
Yeah, Leprechaun Origins, and then I forget what the last one was called.
Wasn't Origins the one with fucking Hornswoggle?
I don't think I saw it.
Yeah, Hornswoggle was in one of those movies.
That sounds about right. You mentioned the Barbie film, The Marvels with Brie Larson.
No.
The Marvels.
Boo! Now this is more appropriate. Fuck that movie. Fuck Brie Larson.
I guess they announced a Gran Turismo movie by PlayStation Productions.
Okay, what are you gonna... Oh, PlayStation Productions, the same people who did Uncharted, which fucking sucked. I did see that.
Review? Did you
haven't
review
reviewed it yet.
No. Yeah.
I saw it. It sucked.
So what's your opinion?
Such a lame adventure movie.
What did you not like about it?
Well, I didn't see Wahlberg, for one, is fucking boring. Tom Holland was horribly miscast. It's like Michael J. Fox is in Indiana Jones. I love Michael J. Fox, but that just doesn't work. It's not the right casting choice. Also, in the games, Nathan Drake, he's kind of a badass. Well, yeah. In this, he's not really much of a badass. Kind of
Of
gets his
course.
ass kicked throughout most of the movie.
Of
Doesn't do
course.
a whole lot. There's a whole sequence near the end when he's fighting, when he's got the gun finally, but he doesn't fucking use it. It gets knocked out of his hands before he even has a chance to even use the goddamn thing.
Of course.
And the main villain is this chick who looks like she has top ramen for hair. It is
Of
fucking
course.
laughable and awful.
Of course.
And she kills Antonio Banderas. Like Banderas, with his few scenes that he's in, he's pretty good.
Of
But
course.
he gets killed off and replaced by this uh, really wooden chick.
Of
And there's a
course.
climax of these wooden boats. And then there's a bunch of CGI, and there's
Of
this
course.
whole there's this whole plot involving like there's like his Nathan's brother, and he
Of
went
course.
missing or he died. But then like after the credits, there's something that reveals that the brother is still alive, so it makes the whole goddamn film seem kind of goddamn pointless because of
Of
all the
course.
sacrifices that the character was making and all that shit. Yeah.
Of course.
It's like National Treasure, but like not as entertaining.
Of course.
Just be like Raul Julia and Street Fighter. Of course.
Of course. Why couldn't they just get Nathan Fillion?
They're like, he's too old.
Well, how old does Nathan Drake have to be?
I mean, with the shit that they do now, they could do shit where they de-age people. Like, I mean, I don't, you could do something.
But how old is Nathan Drake?
He's not like a young spring chicken or anything in that series, so.
And you talk about running out of ideas for DC. They're doing Blue Beetle August 18th.
Blue Beetle's kind of a cool character, so I think there is potential there if they do it well. In some ways, you could say he's kind of similar to like DC's Deadpool, so there's a way you could kind of make that kind of fun.
All right.
Oh yeah, the Meg 2.
Oh yeah, the sequel to the film no one cared about. Of course, can't get Dread 2.
Nope.
You can get it made to.
We can't even get a Dread series. I think that would be cool, a Dread series. If we get one now, it would be Judge Hershey or something. It would be, it would be the Dredd series. It wouldn't even be about Judge Dredd. It would be about, the other female judge.
Oh, the Equalizer 3 they're doing September.
I had some guy who actually said he thinks that the Equalizer movies with Denzel are superior to the John Wick films because they have better drama and the acting is better. Yeah, I saw a comment like that, and I'm still kind of trying to wrap my head around that one.
Better drama.
Mm-hmm.
What's the drama on Equalizer?
Or of course they throw things in there like Keanu can't act.
Well, I mean, okay, if they don't like Keanu, they don't like Keanu.
Yeah,
I'm not an Equalizer fan of the.
But saying like he can't act at all is just bullshit to me.
Oh, funny enough, Madam Web, October 2023. Madam Web.
Oh, that X prequel. That's something coming out too. The movie about the old bitch, but when she was young, Pearl.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that like the X film. I didn't, so I guess for that audience, they'll like it. But oh yeah, this is the first of that Exorcist trilogy.
Yeah,
the one that you saw how much it's going to cost, right?
No, how much?
$400 million.
I think I wasn't drinking anything. Would have spit it out.
Okay, well, okay. To be fair, okay, they bought it for $400 million.
Still, so, $400 million. Even buying it, it's like this fucking guy in Disrupt TV, this YouTube channel called Disrupt. He bought the channel from this other guy for $500,000 with a loan, and now he's doing a video where he's asking people to invest in some shady fucking website to pay off his debt. And it's like, dude, you fucking spent $500,000. You got a loan of $500,000. Nobody's making a profit off of giving you $100 to own a portion of your goddamn channel. The fuck is this shit? $400 million. That's more money than either one of us will ever see at any point in our entire lives.
Everybody here combined for an entire
everyone
life.
in the chat.
Yeah. I don't see how with anything the Exorcist you could come. Even merchandise, like what did you get for $400 million? Like what? How do you even make even remotely that amount back, let alone a profit?
Yeah, it just sounds like a fucking ripoff. Like
Blumhouse
got fucked in the ass.
They feel it's going to be an Insidious thing. Because there's 5 Insidious films, there's the spin-offs. I think they feel Exorcist is going to be that, I guess.
Huh.
I would assume.
But it wasn't that with Exorcist 2. Exorcist 3 didn't do that well. Should have done better, but it didn't do well. Wasn't that with the beginning? It wasn't that with the fucking Dominion?
I think they're banking on the success of the Insidious films and they want to capitalize on it, even though the Insidious films are even...
Yeah, the Exorcist TV show. That lasted for 2 seasons, and I don't even think the series even ended properly, if I remember correctly. I thought there was something where it just ended. Didn't even have a proper ending. That I'm more interested in than this shit, because at least, Gina Davis. Like, okay.
Yeah.
I might check that out someday just for Gina Davis.
Right. And you said
I don't give a fuck about. I don't care about the Exorcist sequel, trilogy. Don't give a shit. More Pazuzu.
Blade. That's November 2023. Right here it says Blade, so maybe they changed it back.
I'll stick with Wesley fucking Snipes. That's the only Blade for me, not Butterknife, Mashahara Ali, or however you say his name. Matahari. Mahershala.
There's a new Hunger Games movie.
Yeah.
Dune Part 2.
I still need to see the first Dune.
Another Color Purple.
Yeah, Chaz Rennie Harlan directed Exorcist at the beginning. Another Color Purple. That one's interesting. Like, why?
Yeah.
Another one of those? Another a reboot of that movie? My guess is they're going to modernize it. That's my guess.
Oh, great. I could imagine. Never mind.
Yeah.
There's...
Like what they're going to do in Wakanda Forever. It's going to be a full-on race war.
A Willy Wonka prequel.
Yeah, I remember reading about that. Just like the Wednesday TV series that Tim Burton is doing this year for Netflix. Wednesday. Starring the chick from Scream 5 and X. Jenna Ortega, the girl in the crutches who they think is the next big thing. And I haven't seen a goddamn thing with her in it where she was good, let alone the film was good yet.
And then you have the new, the next Ghostbusters.
Firehouse.
Afterlife sequel.
Ghostbusters Firehouse.
That's not the title, is it?
That's what I heard. That's a dumb title if they're going to go with that. Firehouse.
And no, there's nothing for 2024. It didn't go that far, but
Ghostbusters Firehouse.
Well, we'll start to get to the end. It's been over 3 hours. It's been pretty lengthy, so
Firehouse is going to sue.
Yeah. Any final? Let me get your final thoughts on a movie people mentioned quite a bit.
Okay.
We already mentioned before, but Prey. Since that's like the big one we talked about, is the reviews, the Comic-Con stuff.
Here's the thing. Some of the reviews definitely do come across as just typical shill bullshit. A lot of buzzwords, a lot of this is great, this is amazing, better than the first, the best one since the original. But hearing the stuff about it being, gory and violent, and that's something that I would like to see. But if it's all CGI, then that's fucking lame and not even really that much of a point. But even then, if it is, and
the previous one was gory,
yeah, and the writing sucks and the characters suck, then none of that really matters. Also, you notice that a lot of these reviews aren't talking about the politics, and that's something I'm very leery about when it comes to this movie, just based on the trailer alone and the synopsis that they had for the actual movie about, oh, she's hunting the predator and breaking down stereotypes, that kind of thing. I'm not interested in a predator movie that's being political. It's just not something that I give two shits about. I heard, yeah, the predator is practical. Cool. I mean, that should be the case. The predator was practical in the Predator at times.
Yeah.
And that film still sucked.
Yeah.
I just am not. I'm from what I've seen with Amber Midthunder, I'm not really sold with her as a lead. But maybe it's just a case of the trailer not showing enough. If you had like a film that was similar to like Revenge, but it's a Predator movie, like that could be kind of cool. But I doubt that that's going to be the case with this movie.
For me, and then my final thoughts before we head out. By the way, thank people out there for joining us for a bit. Here's the thing. I looked at this movie. I looked at these trailers. Yeah, the story is different in a setting. At the same time, I never cared to see a Predator movie in a Native American setting. It never appealed to me. I'm sorry. It never has. It never will. The idea doesn't interest me. It never did in the first place. That's number one. Number two, I still see a bit of a low budget factor that makes it understandable why it's just going straight to Hulu and not the theaters. I see iffy CGI on the bear and stuff. I see a lead actress that, like not all, but a lot of actresses nowadays, they get a free easy pass if they're not the best actress. I see a movie that is going to get a lot of passes because there's people that don't like getting in trouble because if they say anything remotely negative, they're called racist and sexist, and this is the double whammy of Native American and a woman as a lead. And if you have any negative thought
Mike
through just from the trailer,
Predator even mentioned that there's going to be two English. There's going to be two English language choices. There's going to be two language choices for Prey, English and Comanche. So there's going to be two different choices for the film.
Cool story.
Or for the speech, for the language.
Yeah.
So
cool story, bro. That's what I say. Cool story, bro.
It's like I can see you got to watch the Comanche version. That one's better. Even though it's the same movie, it's just everyone speaks in Comanche with subtitles.
Well, I just watched the good version called Predator and Predator 2.
I don't know. I'll just watch a movie like War Party with Billy Worth that nobody fucking remembers, sadly.
So with Prey, again, nothing of interest about story, the idea, the concept. Nothing about it intrigues me or interests me. It just doesn't. If it does for people, I'm glad. The lead lady does nothing for me. Nothing about this does anything for me. And
I'd rather see Ice-T versus a Predator. Survival of the game. Yeah.
But yeah, again, it's going to come out next month. We already know people, as we see, people don't praise it to high heaven.
Yeah.
And they don't give it a pass. Ghostbusters Afterlife. Look how much that got a pass.
Initially, I fell for it, and because I saw it in the theater, Ghostbusters Afterlife, and I cried. I did, and then I thought about it more. Then I was like, "Well, this isn't that good. It's not that funny. This is way too similar to the first movie. I don't like these lazy member berries. This is like, what is this shit with the gatekeeper and the keymaster? Like what?" And it's just Gozer again, really. And then the whole stuff with, Ray being a dick, being way out of character when he's talking about Venkman, which is just horrible.
It's funny they hate Predator 2 so much, but apparently, if the rumor's true, it's going to be a big part of the ending with the gun. But Predator 2 so bad, it needs to be forgotten. But that gun's going to be in it, which the only way people would fucking know it is Predator 2. Again, that's if it's true. The only way people would know it is Predator 2, the film that you say is dog shit.
Yeah.
And does that need to exist?
Well, what's different is, like, they mention... If they're going to mention Predator 2 with that, at least they're referencing it. Like in Afterlife, they acted like Ghostbusters 2 didn't even exist.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because they're saving all that nostalgia for Ghostbusters Firehouse. They're going to bring back fucking Vigo and Janusz.
It would be the mood slime. They bring back the mood slime. And instead of the Statue of Liberty moving, it'll be, I don't know, Dunkin' Donuts, whatever symbol of a fast food place moving. Dunkin' Donuts, whatever it be. Pillsbury Doughboy. Anyway, you guys...
Prey is one of those films where I will give it a fair shot. I do that with anything that I watch. If it surprises me, I'll be the first to admit it. Matt will be in the same boat. But when it comes to the history that we have seen firsthand, when it comes to these kind of films and these franchises that have trailers like this that are very underwhelming or just seem like they are going to be shit, and we see reviews from all these shills and all this crap who don't even mention one single potentially negative thing about the movie, act like it's the greatest film ever made, then yeah, most of the time that doesn't really turn out to be true, and our suspicions tend to be fairly accurate. So we shall see, but I think this is gonna suck and blow at the same time.
And the answer, Shattered Combat. Again, the rumor is that she gets the gun from the Predator and then shoots him with it, and then keeps it. Whether that's in it, I don't know.
But if that's true, like the Predator gives her the gun, then she shoots the. Can you imagine? It's not going to be that dumb. Can you imagine that? Just like, oh, here's the gun.
Well, I mean,
you
the
bested
Predator,
me.
Well, you laugh, but the Predator had the guy accidentally shoot himself in the head.
Yeah, you're right. The villain, Sterling K. Brown's.
No, Total Meltdown 2, I don't think there is a shoulder cannon in this. I don't think the Predator has it.
The Predator has like a weird skull, regular skull helmet too, and like a shield, I think.
This is before all that, I guess.
Which is bullshit because all that stuff has existed long before 1700, so that's nonsense in Predator lore. But, Dark Horse comics and all these novels, they don't exist.
They don't exist.
Now I know how Star Wars Expanded Universe fans feel. And then if you look at all the recent Star Wars shit, they're just ripping off the Expanded Universe. They're ripping off the EU and the animated stuff. They actually hired a guy who worked on Clone Wars to do a lot of this new shit. That's why you have characters from Clone Wars in Boba Fett.
Ghostbusters 2 is hated by the makers, the actors. Well, so what? I mean...
It actually isn't necessarily hated by everyone. I've seen interviews from other people involved with the... In fact, the reason why the movie got made is because Ivan Reitman and all the rest of the cast, the main cast, they got together for lunch one day. They had such a good time together, and they were like, hey, because they were talking about working on Ghostbusters and how much fun it was doing that movie. And they were like, we should do another one. And that's exactly what happened. If you look at the interviews from the time, nobody's talking about how it was miserable and we had a horrible time on the set and blah, 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 blah. No, nobody's saying that. Not even Bill Murray when you look at interviews from the time of the film's release.
Well, I mean, even with that, look how many people hated working on Last Boy Scout, and that's a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
And they fucking don't like that movie. That's an awesome movie, Last Boy Scout. Yeah. So with that said, we'll let you guys go. Thank you guys for joining us. Thanks, Mike, for taking the time.
Yeah, no problem. Fun.
The next time, I will be on Mike's channel as the least I can do because he's nice enough to join mine. So we'll have that happen sometime whenever Mike's free. He's been very busy. Mm-hmm. So thank you guys out there. Take care. And we will see you down the road later. And